Yo, what's good? What's popping? What's popping? PNP, it's Rashad, it's Dave. What's good, bro? How's it going, man?
How's it going? He says. How's it going? I'm too emotionally attached.
Yeah, that's your bad. That's something you should handle within yourself, bro.
I want to make sure I'm not getting the same audio that I'm hearing. I'm assuming the audio is good, right?
Is the audio's fine? Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
I got a mad delay on your end, but I don't know. I want to make sure everybody's everybody, as long as the crew can hear it, that's all that matters. As long as the guys
Testing,
can
yeah.
hear
Are
it, we're
y'all
good.
good? Are y'all
Yeah.
good?
All right. It looks like it's starting to flow.
All right, they saying they're good.
All right.
But what's good, man? What's good? Other than the game on Sunday, how was everything on your side?
Pretty good, man. It was a interesting weekend to say. I bet like I think my gaming gets in the way of fantasy football. I've come to that conclusion. I can give you some examples, and it's kind of hilarious. But yeah, like I left my running backs in for Thursday night that I had in there last week. I forgot to put my picks in for Patriots Falcons, so I took an automatic L there. But the weekend was straight. You know what I'm saying? It was a pretty chill weekend. Nothing major this weekend. The major stuff happens this week though, with Thanksgiving and all that.
Yeah, sound like you should retire just like me.
Nah,
That sound like you should come to the retirement club.
I ain't gonna retire. Although but I will say, me giving out fantasy advice, a lot of folks listen to me about Jonathan Taylor, my man out here living his best life. Him and Eckler.
That's
And
the first time
I'll
That's the first time I've heard you declare victory. Is that the only good advice you're giving out there?
no, I got other ones because you guys should go
I'm
back and
messing
check
with you,
out my
bro.
top 10. I know, man. You guys can go check out my top 10 fantasy QB for Cam Newton because
Yeah,
had a pretty damn good fantasy day.
yeah, for sure,
He had a pretty damn good fantasy day.
for sure. All right, man, let's go ahead and get into this game, man, because it's a
Nah,
lot to
no, we
talk.
ain't doing that yet. What about you, bro?
It's,
What you do this
oh no,
weekend
I'm
other
straight.
than
I'm straight. No, I'm straight. My fault. I didn't do nothing, bro. I put up some Christmas lights outside. Other than that,
oh
I
you
was chilling, bro. I ain't do nothing. Watch some college football. That's it, bro. I
speaking
be
of which, did
chilling,
you
man.
so are you like all these other folks that want the A&T coach fired after one season in the Big South?
Nah, man. I mean, he got to
Nah, you
do
can't
better.
fire him.
I think he was getting out coached a lot, but you can't fire
New
him after one
conference.
season.
New conference, bro. The
Yeah,
conference, this ain't the
yeah.
MEAC no more. But shout out to Florida A&M because I know you guys think I hate. Shout out to Florida A&M for making the FCS playoffs.
Oh, they did.
Shout out to
Nice.
them. They made the FCS playoffs. There was a lot of debate on whether or not the committee was going to do the right thing to get them in there, but they absolutely deserve to be there based on their record. They only lost to Jackson State and the FBS school. There's only two losses they had. So shout out to them. They deserve to be. They deserve to be in the big dance. And Jackson State, I know Deion Sanders feels a certain type of way about that, but I think FAM legitimately has a shot to win in the first round, but then get their asses handed to them by Sam Houston State.
Yeah, for sure.
But shout out to FAMU. Their SWAC move, it was worth the move for sure. It looks like so far.
All right, Dave, let's get into this. Let's just a lot of stuff to unpack. We're gonna dive right in. Make sure y'all follow us on all the socials. Again, on YouTube, we're trying to get 15,000 subscribers. So I know most of y'all watching right now probably already subscribed. But if you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button for your boys. Again, we're trying to get to 15K before the end of the year. We got a long way to go. I think we got like just at 1,500 to go. So we got a long way to go. Hit the subscribe button. Follow us on all the other socials too. We're doing a lot of good things on Twitter. So follow us over there, Instagram as well. Also, if you want to support the channel even further, go to patreon.com/Panthers PC. Become a Patreon member. We had a couple new folks join. So shout out to all the free agents that have joined. And shout out to all the franchise players. Shout out to Chris Potts, one of the new franchise players out here in these streets. Shout out to all you other franchise guys as well. We appreciate y'all support. Enjoy Graphics. I got to hit you up on Twitter. Excuse me, on Instagram, but appreciate that. And MVPs, man. Shout out to the MVPs. Kyle, I see you in the chat. Dr. Dre, appreciate you joining up as an MVP member. We do have the MVP giveaway coming up this weekend. We gonna do it this weekend, Dave? I know it's Thanksgiving. I'm down. I'm down. I don't got nothing.
I can do it. I mean, what day? Like, let's ask the folks that are in the chat that are in the Patreon. Like, what's better for you guys, Saturday or Sunday? I'm not going out of town, so it's just I just need to know the time.
I'm chilling. Saturday, I'm going out of town, but I'm gonna be available. I ain't gonna be doing shit.
All right, so let me I'll throw it in the Patreon. I'll throw it in the Discord right now and ask.
Yeah, throw it in
just
Discord.
To get a vibe. Yeah,
but I will be giving away a signed Christian McCaffrey mini helmet for the MVP giveaway this month. And I might pull some other stuff. I went through my closet of goodies today, and I might give away some other stuff too that I've been waiting to. Well, not been waiting, but I just forgot I had. So might be a good time to become a Patreon member because I got a lot of stuff I just have. So sign up. You never know what you can get.
I mean, we could.
Got some good stuff. You got to.
Maybe we can give away a Sam Darnold jersey. I'm just kidding. We're not gonna ever give away a
couple of them joints if you want them.
I do too. I got some that need to retire at this rate, man. I
got a Teddy for y'all too. I got a Teddy Bridgewater jersey too if y'all want it.
Which one is worth more right now in this era?
Sam's still gonna be around for a little bit, so I'm gonna roll with Sam.
All right,
I'm gonna roll with Sam. All right, Dave. Did you happen to watch this press conference? Lots to unpack in this shit.
I did, bro.
Lots to unpack, bro. It was a lot. Go ahead with your first impressions, but there was a lot.
I said it a few weeks ago after the bad games that Darnold started having, but I'll just say it again. Yes, there's portions of this fan base that owe Teddy Bridgewater an apology, bro. because the reason why we went from Teddy to Sam is for the deep ball, and Rule just admitted that the offense doesn't predicate on that. He admitted it in his press conference today. So, because somebody asked whether or not the reason why Cam isn't throwing deep balls is because of him not knowing the playbook, and he straight up said no, it's based on the play call, and there's nothing wrong with his arm. His shoulder's fine. The offense is based on not the deep pass, which is why, and we'll get into the game, but that's part of the reason why Rivera was able to do what he did. Basically, all Rivera did that entire game, go back and watch it. All he did was throw it deep. I dare you. We're going to squat on your routes. And you ain't getting no yak today. He played the type of defense that we hated him to play when he was the coach in Carolina. And it worked because they didn't adjust. They didn't take any shots.
Yeah, there's no variance. And I put that because this is a point. I mean, this is a point we've been talking about for a while. It's always been the coaching. Like it's the scheme. And I think, if as you start to check off the excuses, right? We thought, well, not we, because we've been on board saying it. We try to tell y'all we've been on board with this, but as you start to check off the boxes, right? We've had 3 different quarterbacks, 3 of them, count them: Teddy Bridgewater, Sam Darnold, Cam Newton, and you've seen the same offense, right?
And well, you can say PJ too. You can say PJ too.
And PJ will sling it. He'll find a way. He'll throw it deep.
And you know what? And that's why he used to get. And that's why he used to get in trouble. He used to get in trouble.
Facts.
Like whenever he would sling that, when he would sling that thing, Rule did not like that at all. And we were all saying, well, why is he being so hard on PJ? Because he ain't running the offense within the system that the coach wants. I think that's what the fan base wants, but it ain't about what we want. It's about what the coach wants. And the coach don't want to be slinging that thing.
Pause. So as we knock off the excuses, right? We have 3 quarterbacks, 4, 3.5. If you want to include PJ Walker, we've had 4 quarterbacks, and also the excuse was the offensive line, right? Oh, well, the offensive line can't hold up. So, we got to get rid of the ball quick. I've said that. I've said that as well. But over the past couple of weeks, the offensive line has done fine. And you can see, like even yesterday, Like Cam had some time to throw the football. I mean, he didn't have like all day, but he had time, yo. He had time to throw the football, and it's not in the cards. He said they called maybe a couple plays to go deep, but also, Dave, do you also think that Christian McCaffrey handicaps the deep ball as well? Since I have Christian McCaffrey to dump it to, why am I going to throw the football deep when I just have Christian McCaffrey there and I can just toss it to him and let him go create? And I think that's what they're pushing.
Go ahead, man. What were you saying?
No, that's what they're pushing. No, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's what they're pushing. They're pushing to dump the football to C-Man.
But the thing that I realized when it comes to that whole situation regarding Sam and Cam and throwing the deep ball, I think McCaffrey could be used to set up the deep pass, but they just have no issues doing it. Like they don't want to do it. Like they just rather just keep the, let's screen here, wheel route there. You know what I'm saying? Slant here, slant there. Nothing like serious. And that's the problem.
Yeah, it's ball control offense. It's ball control offense. We want to hold on to the football. We don't want any explosive plays. We want to keep our defense off the field, right? That is the thought process about and the scheme. That's what the scheme is, right? We want to ball control. We're gonna run it. We're gonna get these first downs. We're gonna chip away these first downs. Just push the ball, chip away. But I think that handicaps your offense. I think somebody else said it in the chat that it handicaps the offense, right?
Sure
and
does.
I think it's a great point because it's not getting us anywhere, bro. It's not helping. So it is what it is, man. But I think you got to open up the offense. You've got Robbie Anderson, you've got DJ Moore, you've got all these guys that you can stretch the field with, and you're not utilizing them to the best of their talents, right? So you got to be able to spread the football around and you take a shot. You got to keep the defense honest, and that's something we're not doing. They're just squatting, like they're saying, "Hey, we're gonna keep our safety here. We know you're not gonna throw it this deep, so we're gonna keep the safety. We're gonna drop the safety down, and just hey, if they beat us, then it's we'll take it, but it's unlikely to happen, right? That's how teams are able to stop our offense. So that's just what it is, man. It is what it is at this point. So I don't know what else to say. I think they need to open it up now that Cam is here. I think we got to find a way to open up the offense. And again, I'm going to give them time to figure it out. I said I give Cam 3 weeks. So after the bye, I think we'll be ready to kind of say, hey, all right, let's turn this up a little bit.
Well, you said we're not going to count the non-play.
No, but I am going to include the bye week though. That's a week of preparation.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
So this week, Miami, the week of
whoa! Stop! Y'all gotta crush this narrative. We already had somebody on Twitter that just got flamed saying the comment like this, and I replied saying Cam's a top 15 quarterback in this league, and he said no, he's not. That's your opinion though. And then I looked at his Twitter and I saw who his quarterback was and realized that he had probably arguably the worst quarterback in the NFL, and you can debate on who that is. I'll give you a clue. He was drafted in 2018. So Cam is a pretty damn good deep passer. He's better than what you think. And the previous quarterback we had before Sam was a pretty good deep passer too. So we need to stop with that narrative. He knows how to sling it. He knows how to get down to. I didn't say that other part. I just slang it. I said slang it. I didn't say the other piece. So no, that wasn't a pause worthy. Yeah. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you. I appreciate that. He definitely did back me up. He put that stat line up, and my man disappeared. My Browns fan disappeared like a ghost because they don't know what a good quarterback looks like. I can understand his struggle. He hasn't seen a good quarterback if he was old enough since Bernie Kosar. I can understand his pain and his struggle. You know what I'm saying? When you have folks like what's the dude, Wheaton, and you know what I'm saying? When Jake Delhomme is one of your top 5 quarterbacks that you've had over the past couple of years, it says a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I can't do nothing about that. All right. Yeah. Carry on. Sorry. Just had to say that.
Stuff, pretty awful stuff. But then the talking about the penalties in regards to the press conference, penalties as well. That's not good. The run defense couldn't stop. We're gonna unpack all that, but it was pretty bad, bro. I mean, we allowed 190 rushing yards against Washington. And again, I think they brought it up during the press conference. I think David Newton said, "Yo, in 6 losses this season, Carolina's allowed an average of 163 rushing yards, and in their 5 wins, the average is 56 yards." So, I mean, the answer is the answer, right? You stop them, 7. You hold them under 100 yards. You give yourself a good chance. But letting dudes get off for 163 yards a game, that's not good. That is going to equate to a loss, especially when you're, again, the whole mantra is predicated on ball control and good defense, right? We're not asking our offense to go out there and win a game. That's not how they want to win games. They want to win games on the backs of their defense. That's what Matt Rule wants, right? So when you're doing that, you can't then play a game like we played yesterday. That's just not going to work. That's not going to work. But all right, so let's get into some things here. One quick stat that's interesting, and we talked about this a couple times.
We need to go back to talk about some of these comments because we didn't unpack the rest of these tweets. Like we talked about the run defense. Yeah, but like that whole Dante Jackson situation, man, it says a lot. Like he's always open to make the defense accountable. It's rare that he makes the offense accountable, but he kind of But this is the week where him making the defense accountable was warranted.
It was warranted.
The defense, the defense did not play well.
One interesting thing he said was, "Yo, we gotta if they just listen to Phil, they'll be fine." Like, what do you mean if they just listen to Phil? Like, are they just?
I know exactly what he. No, I know exactly what he means. I think because when he was talking about the DB's eyes. They had their eyes in the backfield too much instead of having it focused on playing man. That's what he's talking about. And you can see that when you watch the game.
You can't
They were too busy. Yeah, that was the issue. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's not like you can't be out here trying to you can't be too focused on the backfield when you're supposed to be manning up on your guy. You know what I'm saying? There was guys that was having a pretty damn good day. You know, Dante got beat a lot. And part of it was because he was too focused on the backfield.
Yeah, he had his eyes, especially when he got beat for the touchdown. I forgot who it was. I think it was the Carter kid that beat him. You could see him looking like he had his man, and he hit him with a quick slant. And Dante Jackson was looking at the quarterback, and the dude just ran by him. Like, fam, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? And so, like, he's like, yo, just listen to Phil Snow, and you'll be fine. So,
what it boils down to too is. You can't be out here playing zone when you should be playing man. Like typically when you play zone, you're looking at the quarterback's eyes. When you're playing man, you got to be focused on your dude. You know what I'm saying? You got to be focused on the person you're supposed to be covering.
Yeah, and again, I saw a lot of communication issues too. I think he said that in the presser too. It's like, yo, we got a lot of guys that aren't that they're not. It was a lot of pointing and a lot of confusion going on in the game. Really weird. I hadn't seen that all season. They were real discombobulated in the defensive backfield. And they got picked apart. But let's unpack a couple things, Dave. He talked about this too, and I think a couple other guys, Dante Jackson, a lot of guys talked about it. What's up with this, Dave? Like we 2-4 at home, 3-2 away. Like what's going on with that, man?
I got a question for you. Yeah. What was the he did call it during the fantasy show. Props to him. Appreciate the super chat. And I told you guys Cam was a good pick, a good starter. I just told you guys not to get too cute. What was the last home win we had?
The last against the Saints. It was the first. We won the first 2 games
and
at home.
Won one since.
And we ain't won one since. Yeah. So that's not good, man. That's not good. Like, we got to be better at home, bro. We got to be better at home. It's weird. We're playing much better football, and they talked about the team dinners, how they go out and they bond as a team and all that stuff on the road. So, should y'all lock in at a hotel and make it feel like y'all away? Like, I don't understand. Like, what y'all got to do to get this shit right, bro? Like, you want fans to show up, but you can't have us show up and then like let us down. I think, and they took, Cam mentioned it. He said that the fans showed up. It was electric at the bank, and then all of a sudden they get there and they lay an egg. Like they can't do that, and it's just real interesting. I just saw I went back and I was like, yo, when was the last game we won? Because I've been to all but one home game, and that was the Patriots game, and I'm like, man, we haven't won since the Saints. That seems so long ago, bro.
It was long ago. It was 9 weeks ago. That's why it was long ago. So from that standpoint, the other thing, but there's one positive caveat that I can lay on to Panther Nation right now. If we make the playoffs, it'll be all road games.
Yeah.
It'll be all road games.
That's one way to look at it.
Cause man, I don't understand why we can't play well at home. Like I don't get it. I
don't get it either, bro. I don't get it either, man. I have no idea what's going on. We got to do better. We got to do better, man. We got to do better. But I thought it was interesting. I had to look it up and put the stats together so we all could be on the same page. They keep saying it, but I'm like, yo, we haven't won since week 3 or whatever week it was against the Saints.
And the two games we lost on the road were Dallas, which was a game that we were expected to lose, and the Giants, where we just laid a certified boy.
Yeah, we laid an egg. Yeah, we laid an egg. Other than that, we in NFC East teams. So
0-4, baby.
Right. Yeah, not good. Not good, bro. Not good. All right, so let's get into this. A lot of things to unpack here. I got a lot of interesting stats that I was able to pull, but we'll start with the rookie report. This is the rookie report, Dave. Brady Christensen. I mean, he was the rookie of the day. If you want to say that, this guy he played pretty well. 41 snaps. He gave up no pressures. Solid in the run game and solid and in pass protection. I mean, even going back to last week when he came in for Dennis Daly going down, like, bro, he's been playing well over the past couple games when he had the opportunity. So, I mean, it was funny because Matt Rule sounded like he barely wanted to give dude any props. Like, he was like, yeah, I'm proud of him, but, like, that's pretty much it. Like, he didn't really give dude any props. But anyway,
I thought that he played. He said he played well. He said he played
well, but he was like, I'm proud of him. And then just kind of, he didn't like go, I guess he didn't go overboard with the prop. I mean, because I'm surprised he played that well. I guess for me, I'd have been like, yeah, dude, you played good. You played, like, give that man some props, B.
This was the best day he had as a rookie, by far.
Yeah, for sure. But that's opportunity. That's when it comes to rookie play, it's all about opportunity, right? You got to get the opportunity to play, to get on the field and make the best of your snaps. A couple of guys have done this. Like we talked about Keith Taylor, although he had a rough game and he only played 9 snaps. So the sample size is small, but he did give up, I believe the reception was 12. It was like 7 yards, but then there was some yak. It was 7 yards, and then there was the rest of it was yak. So I think that he got knocked for allowing the yak.
Yeah, and he probably missed the tackle trying to
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's why he got penalized.
Yeah, hold that missed tackle thought because I got some interesting stats on the missed tackles. But yeah, Chuba Hubbard 1 snap. Tommy Tremble had because he scored before. I'm not gonna say it's his best game.
Yeah, he scored.
One of his better games. 2 targets, 2 receptions for 35 yards. Although he almost dropped one of them, he had a great catch. He had a nice throw, a nice reception on a seam route. And the one thing about Cam is he loves his tight ends, bro. Like Cam will, if you a good tight end, like he's gonna find you, and you gotta make the best of your targets because Cam loves his tight ends, dog. Pause. But yeah, man. So like, Dave, give me your thoughts on these rookies, bro. Like, because when we pick these cats up, bro, like it was like, fam, this rookie class is gonna be great. Terrace Marshall, 1 target. Like, where has he been? He's got 1 target over the past each of the last 2 games. Like, he's been like MIA, bro. Like, where has he been? Chuba, he did great when Christian McCaffrey went down. Now Amir Abdullah gets signed. He falls to the wayside. Keith Taylor down to 9 snaps. Tommy Tremble. I mean, like, what you think? What you think about these rookies, man?
So here's what I see. Let's start off with the offensive line. The offensive line right now, and I'm focused on Christensen and Dante Brown.
Mm-hmm.
They're at the point where they're trying to be in win now mode. even though nobody wants to admit it, even though there's some portion of the fan base are happy that Cam's back, like you're happy that Cam's back, so you're kind of like, all right, I'm good, I'm chilling. But the reality is, you don't make the moves that you made if you ain't trying to make a playoff push, which is what makes the loss even more. Which is what makes that loss more disappointing for me. Now, so from that standpoint, that's why you don't see the offensive line getting too much love unless there's injuries. Like Brady Christensen don't get these opportunities without the injuries that are happening on the left tackle spot. You know what I'm saying? You lose Cam Irving, you put in Dennis Daly, and now you got Brady Christensen. But as you said, I think Christensen, there was always that, hey, is he a guard? Is he a tackle? If he keeps playing like this, he's a tackle, bro. That's just my opinion on it. I want to see more.
What does it say about the coaching staff, though, bro?
It says that the man has Ron Rivera tendencies, and we've talked about this shit.
I know, but what does that say about the guy played left tackle his whole life, and then you put him at guard, then you throw him at right tackle, and then he balls out at left tackle? Like, what does that say about the coaching? Like, to me, like, fam, what are you doing?
No, I'm with you, and we're just talking about the tackle position. But when you start thinking about everything else in perspective, like, for example, and I'm out here spitting like Daffy Duck up in this piece, but like then you think about the tight end position, right? So you were cool. I was cool with the Tommy Tremble pick, and shout out to Tommy. He was on our show. We did an interview with him for our Patreon, Tommy Tremble. So check that out. But the thing about Tommy was you knew that they were going to play more 2 tight end sets. So I was never mad at the Tremble pick because it made the most sense. That made sense. The Chuba pick, just like you, I didn't feel like he was going to get the love. And then when he finally had the opportunity to get the love, we found out that man had stone hands. And they brought in somebody else. So they brought in Royce Freeman. Then they brought in Amir Abdullah. And Amir Abdullah is now the 2. You know what I'm saying? So now Chuba's the 3. Keith Taylor has shown a lot of promise. But you got to remember, with all the trades that we did on the quarterback position after J.C. Horn got hurt, C.J. Anderson, Stephon Gilmore. Stephon Gilmore's played the most snaps he's played since we got him because he's still trying to recover. He's played like 50% of the snaps or something to that effect. So now if you're going to have folks like that playing more snaps, and of course, Keith Taylor's going to take a hit. He might be a guy that needs to play more snaps. You know what I'm saying? So, the 9 snaps is a small sample size. Brown just been hurt. Shaw's been hurt, but he obviously hasn't been able to break through. The defensive tackle position is a situation where we just didn't really – we could use a defensive tackle, but it was still a crowded room. So it was like, Terrace Marshall is a victim of the fact that now you have a quarterback that's targeting your top 2 wide receivers, and we're an offense that want to be ball control. Ball control means you're going to run the ball more. So you're not going to have that many targets to share. You know what I'm saying?
So like that's the thing. That's what makes it frustrating. Because we called that out, bro. Like, we had certain people saying that Terrace Marshall is going to be 1,000-yard receiver. I'm like, bro, how?
No, like, how?
Where is he going to get the touches, bro?
Yo, folks was trying to convince me that Terrace Marshall is going to be like a fantasy guy. And I'm looking at him like, do you understand what the hell Matt Rule is trying to do? Like, when you start counting down the target, let's say, and this is a high number, let's say we throw the ball 30 times. And that's not a normal thing for our offense to do with what Matt Rule and Joe Brady's trying to do. Let's say we throw the ball 30 times. 10's going to go to CMC. A third of them are going to go to TMC, right? 10 of those targets going to CMC. Then you'll probably get 7 to 10 to DJ Moore if you're doing it right. You know what I'm saying? So now we're like, you almost 2/3 of your targets are gone. 20 out of the 30 targets are gone. And then you're going to you should give Robbie at least 5. Like, Robbie deserves to get 5. You know what I'm saying? At least 5. So that's 25 targets gone. You only got 5 left. And you got all these other guys. Terrace Marshall ain't gonna get all 5 of them. You'll get the random Tommy Tremble here, your Ian Thomas there, maybe a Chuba if you didn't have stone hands.
For me,
then Terrace is gonna get part of those scraps. He's fighting for 5 remaining targets out of 5 other guys.
So my thing with Terrace is I understood the pick, like, because he's a projected first round pick. So I like the pick, but I thought it really got weird with me when they extended Robbie Anderson. Because I thought that was going to be the kind of regression plan. Like, that was supposed to be the regression plan. Like, when you extended Robbie Anderson, that was like, yo, what the hell is going on? Like, Terrace was supposed to be that guy. And
there's 2 layers to it, right? When you make the decision to extend Robbie Anderson, there's two things that happen. The first thing that happened is like, all right, you just drafted this guy, knowing that Robbie could be gone after the 2021 season. You just drafted this guy. So now you're putting it in a spot where this guy's going to have the opportunity to be a 2 because you paid Robbie too much for that. And then on top of that, you got to think about how you're going to play DJ. So that's why when the signing happened, I wasn't a fan of it because that gave me the fear that, oh no, they might have to play DJ. Did you see that deal? And on another note, did you see that deal that Courtland Sutton got?
I did not see it.
Oh my God. Let me go ahead and read this to you,
I didn't
bro.
see it.
Let me pull it up for you real quick. Yeah, you need to hear this. Let me find it. Let me see. Let me find it real quick.
I saw the deal Taysom Hill got though.
I know. Yeah, but this one's
playing with.
All right, here we go. Confirming Broncos. Shout out to Mike Kliss. Confirming Broncos have reached agreement with wide receiver Courtland Sutton on a 4-year deal worth a tad more than $15 million per. $15 million per.
Robbie's beating that. I mean, excuse me, DJ.
So that's my point. And the thing is, the first thing I asked the folks in the Discord, so was Sutton better than DJ Moore? Most folks said no. I don't think he is. I think DJ Moore's a better wide receiver. So if that's the case, he's going to demand more. We just paid Robbie, what, $12 million a year?
Mm-hmm.
So where's this money coming from, bro?
Bro, I ain't got the answer, Sway. I didn't like the Robbie Anderson extension when it happened.
4 years, 61 million for Courtland Sutton, who just had a major injury. Like the man just recovered this year. You know what I'm saying? And Denver's pretty much got their top 4 wide receivers paid, got their top 4 wide receivers under contract through 2023. So, you know,
yeah,
because they just paid Tim Patrick too.
So. All right, let's move on from the rookies, Dave. It's interesting because we started out with some high expectations, and now we like, all right, these dudes have.
Well, the thing is, out of all the guys that I thought that was going to get the most love, it was going to obviously be Horn. I thought Horn was going to be a guy, but then he got hurt, and I hope his recovery is going well. I thought Trimble would do more damage than he has, but he's been playing pretty well considering. But the moment when it looks like we were in win now mode, that put Brady Christensen in a rough spot. So yeah, you know, and to think that there's a lot of linemen. There's a lot of linemen that we looked over that we could have had, and
that's a fact. That's a fact.
And you left my guy off. You gotta put Thomas up there, man. We can't forget that we drafted Thomas Fletcher.
Yo, come on, Dave. DNP all season, bro. I know.
That's my point.
All right,
but you know who else has been DNP all season?
Phil Hoskins.
That's my Shaw played a day.
He got one game. He got one game in.
You know what I'm saying?
But all right, let's move on. Here's some more interesting stats. Red zone efficiency. Obviously, when you have Cam Newton, that should be 100% most of the time. Third down efficiency was not good. We talked about that. Again, I'm gonna give him a pass on this go because I feel like he's still learning the offense. Things got to get better. I think they will get better over time. So I don't have concerns about the offense and over the weeks. I think they'll get better. Pass completion 77%. That was a damn good completion percentage by Cam. I don't think when's the last time he thrown for 77% like that? Like, when's the last time we seen that in
when North actually, I think North, and the other thing too, and I said this before and I'll say it again. I think folks need to go back and look at Cam's completion percentage last year with the Patriots. It's way better than you guys realize.
Yeah, I didn't watch Cam in a Patriots jersey, so I
it was way better than people realize.
Yeah. Can we? I mean, this is a fact. Can we give this guy a fair shake considering how bad the QB play was for 8 games? That's where I am. I appreciate the super chat.
Shalika. I mean, we're gonna have to give Cam time on the offense. There's no question about that. He's
got to get time.
But I could argue that we should lay some of this on these coaches though, because you could game plan better. You could be better at what you're doing. I could argue.
But when it comes to
but the thing is, when you got
stuff like that, like I'm not gonna.
I don't think he knows all that yet.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah,
He doesn't know all that
yeah.
stuff
I don't
yet.
think he knows that yet. But I mean, when you have a quarterback that throws for 80, that has a 80, almost an 80% completion percentage, you can't really complain. But there was still people out in the Twitter worlds out here smacking their gums saying Cam ain't it. Somebody ain't watch a
Yo,
look at a
I don't
game,
be
but
watching. Yo, I don't.
whatever.
Y'all pay attention to that stuff, bro. Like, I don't even see that shit. I don't. I see like one or two people, like maybe three max. I don't see it. My purview is crazy. I don't see none of that shit. Um, but anyway, penalties DBO is not working. We'll talk about that in depth a little bit later.
Oh
Rushing
God,
numbers 21.
Debo. I'm gonna call it Debo.
Debo, yeah, we getting Debo'd by our own selves.
Debo. Who's
The
that? Debo. Go
rushing
ahead, man.
numbers, we were
Sorry.
able to run it 21 times, 111 yards. Run defense, I mean, we got it handed to us pretty good there. I don't know. It's supposed to be 4.8 yards per carry. I don't know what the attempts were. My bad, I messed that up. The time possession, we got destroyed as well. It wasn't good from a defense perspective. Third down defense, they converted 46%. Fourth down defense is something I highlighted as well. They converted 2 attempts on fourth down, so they were pretty much doing what they wanted to on the offensive side of the football. Total pressures, we were able to get some pressures. We ended up with 14 pressures, sacked my man Heineke 3 times, 3 QB hits, and 7 hurries. So, I mean, we had a decent day defensively from a pressure perspective, but I mean, those runs, we just couldn't stop the run. And when he wanted to throw the ball, he completed it at will, pretty much. And then offensive line pressures, we only gave up 6, which is great. Over the past 2 games, I mean, the offensive line has been playing really well. I think they've given up 7 last week, now 6 this week. And anytime you stay under 10 pressures given up, you're usually doing pretty well from an offensive perspective, and that's what we've seen over the past couple games. So, doing a great job there. Third quarter offense, we still suck. Cam hasn't changed that. And then turnover battle, we did win the turnover battle, and we lost for the first time. Again, I think the last time or the first time since week 3 that we won the turnover battle, second time this year we didn't commit a turnover. So that's crazy. So only 2 times this year we've committed 0 turnovers. So that's not good. Not good. Not good at
Yeah, I
all.
can't. Like they say, typically when you win the turnover battle,
Yeah.
you
Yeah, that
typically
didn't
win the
happen for
game.
us.
But
That didn't happen for us on Sunday, Dave. But Dave, let's talk about these penalties, bro. I mean, shout out to my boy John Ellis. He posted this on Twitter. 81 total penalties. Dave, we got 15 first false start penalties, 5 delay game penalties, 17 offensive holding penalties, 5 defensive offside penalties. So we're top 5 in places that we shouldn't be top 5 in. And like Dave, it's crazy to me, man. You would think, the whole DBO and all this run. There's been such an emphasis put on all this stuff, and it's like, yo, what is going on? Like, what's going on?
Debo doesn't work, yo. Craig knocked him out. They're gonna get rid of it, yo. Gotta get rid of it at this point. It doesn't work, dog. Like, and the thing is, man, and then I can't. I need to stop comparing this man to Rivera because Rivera was dog unsat, bro. Because penalties show that you're an undisciplined football team. That's a sign of an undisciplined football team, and that's pretty much falls on coaching. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm kind of annoyed because it's like the last 2 head coaches we had historically are known to not have as many penalties. Matter of fact, John Fox at times would lead the league in the least penalties in the NFL. So it's Ron Rivera. So now we've gone to this where we're out here being at the top of the heap. When you look at some of the other teams that are up there, some of the teams are actually pretty good. But I know, like, from a discipline standpoint, this isn't good. And the thing is, he puts such an emphasis on DBO. Had cats running to the sign. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And the
what gets
shit
me,
ain't
bro.
working. The
That's what
shit
gets
ain't
me. Like,
working.
you put so much emphasis on it, and it's like, yo, like, how come if it's such a big deal. Like the whole, you got to sign up. You had dude during training camp, you had dudes running to hit the sign. You even took it on the road to other training camps. Like that's how invested you were in DBO, and it is not work. Like we are literally the worst or the most penalized team in the league, bro. And that's just crazy to me, bro. That's crazy to me, man. It's crazy. So just to take it a step further, I looked it up, and here are the most offenders of DBO. Dennis Daly, he's got 7 total penalties, 5 offensive holding penalties, and 2 false start penalties. Dante Jackson, 5 defensive pass interference calls. And how do you get a neutral zone infraction as a DB? I don't know. Like, bro,
No,
stay out
special
this.
teams. He got that on special
Was it
teams.
special teams? Did he? My bad.
And
Even worse. Like that's even worse.
And it was yesterday.
That's even worse. I didn't know that was him, by the way. I didn't know that was him.
Yesterday.
That's
but
even worse.
the thing that makes it interesting about the pass interference call that's intriguing to me is that I remember when J.C. Horn was at practice and Matt Rule was going at J.C. Horn about the fact that he was tugging and holding, and those are all pass interference calls. And Dante Jackson's out here leading the team with the calls, having 5 of them, which is interesting.
Yep. Yeah, Taylor Moton also up there, 2 false start penalties, 2 offensive holding calls, and then Brian Burns, he's got 2 roughing the passer calls and 2 defensive offsides. So that's just some example. There's a bunch of people with 3 penalties each, like a whole list of people, but I ain't put them all up here. But those are the most, the biggest offenders when it comes to BOing. And I ain't talking about beating off either. Pause. That's beating themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right. So,
Debo.
It ain't working. So
don't beat ourselves. That's a pause in itself when you sit down and think about it.
It is.
Don't beat ourselves.
It is. Don't beat yourself, man. For real. All right. So another thing that was called out during the press conference too was missed tackles, Dave. I went and did some research, and I posted this on Twitter earlier today. But so if you're not following us on Twitter, go ahead and do that at Panther Nation PC. Missed tackles, bro. Fam, like we rank 6th in the league with missed tackle percentage. 6.
Oh, 6. Oh yeah, because the first row is the first row.
6th. So it's not good. It's not good. So just to put that pen to paper, right? So for every 5th tackle or for every 5 tackles, we missing 1, right? And that's not good. Like you would think that as good as our defense is, we wouldn't have this problem. But it's not good. Like this is not good, fam. This is not good. Like we missed a lot of tackles yesterday, and it wasn't the worst game. Like I think the worst game we had was against the Cowboys. That was the game where we had the most missed tackles. But yesterday we missed 10 tackles, and it's like, fam, we took sometimes some good angles, and we were right there. We just couldn't wrap the dude up. Like, I mean, this is basic football, and that's why I'm calling these 2 things out. You're talking about missed tackles, and you're talking about BOing. You're talking about beating yourself, penalties. Right, these are things that this team should not be suffering from right now. We shouldn't, like, as good as the defense is, they're in the right place at the right time. They just cannot finish. We've seen Brian Burns miss a couple of sacks. Right, we've seen a lot of guys whiff. Like we shouldn't be having to deal with this, bro. Like we shouldn't have to deal with this. These are some things we got to get figured out. So any thoughts on this, bro?
6, we missed the 6 most tackles, and it does go back to coaching, Matt. I absolutely agree with you, bro. From that standpoint, it absolutely goes back to coaching. Like you cannot. It goes back to being a disciplined team. All this stuff runs together. Like all this stuff runs together. So like you cannot, it's just things that I'm noticing that I'm not going to say wasn't a problem when Rivera and Fox was here, but it wasn't as pertinent.
They were different problems, though. There were
There
different.
were
Let's
different
not. Yeah,
problems.
let's not sit up here and say like, yo, like Ron Rivera was the greatest coach of all time. Like, I
No,
mean, he
no,
had his
no,
own issues
no.
too.
I'm not saying he was the greatest coach of all time. But like some of these things, man, this is the type of stuff that coaches are supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like you're supposed to emphasize the importance of not missing tackles and having the abundance of penalties. Like this is what is supposed to happen. Like you're supposed that's like that's your gig. Like you're supposed to make sure your team is ready. And this is the simple stuff is where I'm getting at. Like we have to improve in these areas. And I know, and it's not just Ron. I mean Fox too. I mean both of them were pretty good at making sure that this was like improved. And maybe it might be a factor in how coaches do their thing when it comes to training camp and OTAs and all that stuff too. I don't know. It's just I'm looking at like there's a couple teams that are good that's on this list, but there's a couple terrible ass teams that are too.
Yeah, it's this stat is not like there's no like definitive correlation between wins and losses because
No,
obviously you
neither is
got
the
Tampa.
neither the others the penalty one either. Like I
Yeah,
looked at the
yeah,
list of the other teams.
yeah.
It's a mixed bag.
There's no correlation, but there are issues, right? And I think there's issues, some of which you can overcome. But see, good teams can overcome this. That's the point. Good teams can overcome things like missed tackles. Like when you have good, consistent quarterback play, good, consistent defensive play, you can overcome some of these things, right? Bad teams can't overcome shit. Like look at Houston, right? They can't overcome missed tackles. Average teams, Carolina, we can't overcome shit like this. We're not good enough to overcome compounding issues like missed tackles and penalties. We're not good enough for that, right?
But
So
there's also another factor you got to take into account too. The other thing you also got to take into account is that when you God, I lost my train of thought. Never mind. I had something. I might remember it later.
it'll come back to you. It'll come back.
It'll come back. Yo, this is what
Just jump
happens
in
when
there when
you.
it comes.
Yeah. Oh, I could
Go
talk
ahead,
about
Dave.
Underdog.
Yeah, go ahead and give us some Underdog fantasy, bro.
All right. So listen, man. I've been trying to tell you guys to hop on this Underdog action because there ain't too many places on the planet where you don't have to go against somebody and win 20 times your money. And it's basically a pick 'em. So you decide whether it's over, under. You decide over, under yards for a player, over, under fantasy points for a player. They do football. They did baseball. They're doing the NBA right now. So you could do it with assists and things of that sort. They do golf. They do soccer. They pretty much do almost every sport. They do college football as well. So check out Underdog Fantasy. All right. So if you go to underdogfantasy.com, underdogfantasy.com, and when you sign up and use the code PNP, you can get a deposit max, 100% deposit max up to your first $100. So if you put in $100 on your first deposit, they will match it, and it comes up pretty quick, pretty immediate. So that way you'll have double your money to play. And if you can't afford $100, you can do 50, and they'll match it up to 50. And you can place slips as low as $1. So if you want to do a low end and change $1 into 20, you can. I've been able to hit the 20x a few times. I actually have won a tournament because they also have tournaments where you draft players. You draft players like for this Monday nighter right now. You can draft the players, and I won the Thursday night slate. Brought home almost $2,000. So head to underdogfantasy.com, and when you sign up, use the code PNP. You get a deposit match up to 100%. Underdog Fantasy, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Go and support the channel. Again, don't cost you nothing. Underdog Fantasy, PNP. Use that code when you sign up. All right. Stock upside down. Dave made me replace Sam Darnold on the on the stock up, stock down slide. So we got Cam up there. So stock up, stock down. Dave, obviously, we got to give, even if Cam went out there and stunk it up, Dave, he probably would have been stock up anyway, just because he returned home.
I wouldn't have allowed it. I wouldn't have allowed it. I wouldn't have allowed it, bro.
It was great. He would have been stocked up anyway, Dave.
Unlike y'all, if Cam would have thrown 4 interceptions, his ass would have been stocked down. I would have fought it. I would have fought it. Because then I'm going to be pissed. Because then it ain't about winning. I would have fought that shit if he would have thrown 4 picks.
You
Period.
wasn't in the building. You wasn't in the building, dog. You didn't get the
No,
feels.
dog,
You didn't get the
dog.
feels, bro.
I saw the game. They actually showed his intro. They showed both times he came out. I saw them both. It was pretty dope. I will admit that. They showed the whole thing live on Fox. I thought it was really dope. But but the stock up, stock down ain't about returns. It's about execution. The man balled. That's why he stock up. He balled.
Yeah.
The man balled.
Facts.
That man been there for 9 days and had the best day as a quarterback all season. That's a fact.
Yeah. Yeah, so he was 21 or 27. We talked about that earlier. 189 yards passing, which is, low, but he obviously made that up in other places. 2 touchdown passes, QB rating of 120. And he did a great job, bro. He added 46 rushing yards off of 10 rushes, and then added a rushing touchdown on a beautiful run that he had, and then ran to the 50-yard line and did the Superman. It was super dope, man. That was amazing. He pulled a TO and made that joint happen at the 50-yard line. That was awesome, bro. Awesome. And we love Cam and welcome back. I think if there was any doubt that Cam still if he still has it or not, bro, like Cam still got it. He still got some football. I was talking to my neighbor about that today. Yo, he still got football left in him, bro. Like, I think we just got to surround him. And I think, I was impressed with what I saw. And again, I think he'll continue to get better and better as he picks up the system. I think this is a different version of Cam that we've seen. And I like it. I like it. I like where he is, bro. I like where he is right now. As long as he stays healthy, I think he's going to be good to go.
Here's another stat of the day for you guys, man. So, like I said before, prior to the season, I did a video about why I thought Cam Newton would be a top 10 fantasy quarterback this year for the Patriots. But let me tell you something right now. He ain't with the Patriots no more, but he damn sure was with Carolina. And he was the 4th best quarterback in fantasy football this week. 4. And he's probably available in a lot of leagues right now. So you know what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. 4th. He was 4th. He's a QB1 for this point forward from that standpoint. Period. So as he continues to learn his offense, he's going to be more dependable than some of the other quarterbacks that we've seen so far in fantasy. Dude balled, man. He balled out of his mind, bro.
I see you guys talking about the offensive coordinator. And I feel like, I feel like Cam should, maybe he's doing this, right? Maybe he's imparting some of his wisdom on Cam. Has seen he's seen some good coordination, like going back to Norv Turner when he was having his best season in 2018, going back to even when Chud was here, Trubisky was here. Like, he's seen some good coordinators, bro. And I feel like Cam has seen enough, even going up to Josh McDaniels and company up in New England. Like, I think he's been around some coordinators to kind of say, hey, bro, Joe Brady, Mr. Brady, let's do something else. Like, let's do this instead of that. Like, what you doing ain't working. Let's try something else. And I can't wait for that to happen. Once that happens, I think you'll see this offense proceed to get better and better. You've already seen his impact on the offensive line. His impact on the offensive line, the offensive line is getting better. Even without Sam Darnold, with Sam Darnold back there, you saw how shitty they played. And now with different quarterback play, you've seen the offensive line improve. Cam, he has that effect on offensive lines. He makes them play better. If his style of play does not get himself sacked very often. So again, the offensive line is going to improve under Cam Newton. We've seen him make bad offensive lines look way better than what people tout that 2015 line. I got news for you, bro. It wasn't all just them. It wasn't like we had a world beating. I know we had some good interior guys, Trey Turner, Andrew Norwell. Them dudes wasn't that great without Cam Newton.
You know who else we had? Mike Remmers.
Michael Orr. Like, come on now.
They weren't that good.
Let's keep it a buck. They
were better than what good. They're better than what we got now, but they weren't that good, ladies and gentlemen. We're not that good.
But yeah, I think Cam is gonna be solid, bro. I like what I saw from Cam. Looked steady. It looked like he had command of the offense. Only I think he called it early timeout, and that's gonna happen, right? That's gonna happen when you're learning the offense. Some of the calls he's probably not used to. I think we had a couple of delay of games. That's gonna happen with Cam trying to figure this offense out, getting everybody lined up properly. So it's all good, bro. It's all good. I'm cool with it. But outside of that, anything else on Cam, bro?
Nah, man. I was happy to see him ball out for us, man. It sucks that we didn't get the win, but you can't blame him you can't blame him for it. That's for sure. You can't blame
Cam
him.
did his thing,
He did
bro.
his thing. Dude, when you score 21 points with the defense we got, we should have won. Simple as that. It doesn't get any simpler than that.
I agree. Let's move on. Let's talk about C-Mac, Dave. C-Mac is at it again. C-Mac is still doing his thing. 10 carries, 59 rushes. He averaged 5.9 yards per carry, so he's still getting it done on the ground. But he also added 60 yards on the ground. And also that stat has been floating around where Christian McCaffrey, with his 119 yards from scrimmage, he became the fastest player in NFL history to reach 3,000 career rushing and receiving yards in 57 games, breaking Alvin Kamara's record of 66 games. All right. He also passed Greg Olsen for fifth place in franchise history with 6,567 scrimmage yards. So C-Mac, he's doing his thug thizzle. Any thoughts on C-Mac, Dave?
We talked about it yesterday. He deserves to stock up. I still think the coaching staff should have given him more work.
Let's talk about that. That's a great segue. Great segue into the touches, Dave. So he talked about the touches. He accounted for 41% of the offense. So where do you want him at, Dave? You want him at 50%? You want him at 60, 75% of the offense of touches?
No, but if the way that we're supposed to win is about running the rock.
We did.
Your
Cam
number one
ran it too.
Yeah, but your running back should have more than 10 rushes.
Also, Dave, what you're missing out though is the lack of offensive possessions. Right?
I agree.
We only ran 49 offensive plays, which was the lowest of the entire season. So that's what you're missing. It has to. We ran the
ball 21 times.
Correct.
10 by McCaffrey, 10 by Cam, 1 by Abdullah.
And 1 by Abdullah, excuse me. Yeah, you're right.
1 by Abdullah. So we ran the ball 21 times. We threw the ball 27. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but game flow too, Dave. Weren't we down 2 possessions at one point? Yeah, we were down.
Oh yeah, we were.
Yeah, we were.
We were.
Yeah,
because at one point we were down 21-7.
No.
Were we?
No, we were down. Weren't we down 20, 27?
No.
I can't remember. Hold on.
See?
I gotta look it up too. I'm old too, man. We both old.
Yeah.
We both old. We were down.
I don't think we were down by 2 possessions.
Yeah, we were. I think we were. When did they score the 2?
They scored the 14 points in this. No, we weren't. We weren't down 2 possessions the entire game.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't think. I'll double check, but let me see.
You guys fact check us. Fact check us on that. that. But weren't we down at least 10 though?
Hold on. Let me look at the box score.
So yeah, they're saying no. The chat is saying no.
We weren't. I didn't think we were.
Yeah, Colin's got it up here. Appreciate that, Colin. Yeah, we were not down. We were not down 2 possessions. So you guys are right. You're right, Dave.
Yeah, so we should have ran the ball more. And I think part of the reason why we probably didn't is because of the penalties. I think the penalties kind of forced their hand a bit. So that's part of the reason why. The penalties had us, the holding calls in general.
Very good point.
The holding calls put us in, when you put us in like 1st and 20 and 2nd and 20 and 3rd and whatever, you know what I'm saying? We weren't going up against Carolina's defense. So we ain't out here giving up like 20 yards in the play, 20 chunk plays like that. Washington wasn't doing that against us. So, I think that's part of the reason why it looks like that. But because the penalties probably forced our hand. It wasn't because we were behind. The penalties forced our hand a bit. So
I agree with that. We were definitely in first and 20 a couple of times, and yeah, put in a situation where we had to throw the football. But yeah, that's the touches, and then this little sliver right here is actually Ian Thomas. I'm not sure why his name didn't pop up, but this sliver.
Tell me
right
how
here
you feel about Ian, bro.
I
Even
mean,
though that sliver that ain't even a smaller sliver.
No, it's not.
It's probably 2% too.
But yeah, I thought Ian was he did great in that the Cam.
Oh
run. Yeah, he was doing work.
Dude, that block that he made opened it up for Cam to score.
Yeah, he was doing work, bro.
So I remember some folks were critical about Matt Rule saying that Ian Thomas is playing excellent. That's the excellent he's talking about, bro. The dude's making plays. Like, that was a hell of a play. It's the little things that matter. It ain't always just about getting catches. It's about blocking too.
So enough to be re-signed?
I mean, it ain't gonna cost us anything. I mean, you think it ain't gonna cost us anything?
No. I don't. But I'm just saying, when it just comes to, can you not replace that kind of what he's doing? I feel like, for me, I think you can put Tommy Tremble in that blocking role that Ian Thomas is in.
No, I agree there. We don't have
and
to
actually draft the actual receiving tight end. I think that's what Cam. I think Cam needs that Olsen, or whoever he was about to have up in New England, the Jonnu Smith. I think Cam is best when he has that type of. And I think Tremble did a great job. I'm not saying that he can't become that, but I think that Cam likes his tight ends, bro. Pause. I keep saying that, but Cam will get a tight end some catches, bro. So
no, I
don't know. Just throwing that out there. And this is the production. So just overlap this. So again, Christian McCaffrey was not as efficient as he was last week, because here's the touches, and then here is the production. So this is total yardage. DJ Moore was actually the most productive with his touches this time. So he had 12% of the touches, but 17% of the actual production. So shout out to DJ Moore. Get him the rock.
Trimble had a higher one than Robbie, and Robbie had a decent set of catches. But because of the routes that we ran, there was no yak for none of these guys.
Actually, I take that back. Trimble was the most efficient. He had the 2 catches. Those were pretty long catches that he had. So again, here is the touches versus production. So you can just kind of overlap it. Obviously, the bigger you want your production number to be larger than your touch number. It's an efficiency tracker, essentially. So shout out to DJ Moore, shout out to Tommy Tremble. They did the most of what they had. And if you want to see the actual data and the amount of touches, I can pull that up. So I know Dave liked to see that last week. So here's the actual data. Oops. Here we go.
Cam with the 10 rushes.
So
and we talked about that yesterday.
Total 17. Touches right
here. Yeah, 17.
Terrace Marshall, man. He had 2 targets.
No catches.
I think he had 1. I think that might be actually it. I think it's 1 target.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he only had 1 target, but at least the targets are distributed better. Like, this is what we expected.
That's what I like. That's what I like.
Chris got, but it goes back to what I said about Terrace Marshall, right? Chris McCaffrey go back to that, show that chart one more time, because I want to, yeah. Chris McCaffrey got 8 targets. DJ Moore got 7. And Robbie Anderson got 6. So that's 21 targets out of the 27 throws Cam had. You know what I'm saying? So there was only 6 targets left for everybody else. Zylstra got 2. Trimble got 2. Terrace got 2. They ain't enough.
Yeah, but I think that's just the product. I think that's a product of the offense, though. Like, once you. No, I agree with you. I think, but you got to, again, I think stretching the field, it's just going to open it up for everybody. I think that lack of stretching the field and getting those guys more space is really, I think it hurts. I think it's hurting our offense, man. We got to figure that out.
No, I'm with you.
We'll have to figure that out. But I think you'll see it. Matt said it. He said that's on us. That's on us. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. All right. So offensive line. I think the offensive line did a great job as well. We talked about it earlier. The 6 total pressures. That's a great, again, Christensen, Taylor Moton posted this on Twitter as well. So you might want to follow us at Panther Nation PC to kind of see this early because I post this at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning every Monday. So you can see this. But 41 snaps, no hurries. MJ had a rough day at the office.
This might
Eflin
be
had
his
a
worst
rough
day,
day.
right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
this
one of
was
his
his
worst
worst day.
days. Yeah, but you got to think who he was going up against in the interior too. It was that was no easy assignment, bro. So again, you talking about an undrafted dude. I think he was undrafted. I can't. If it might have been a late
Yeah.
draft pick if he was drafted, but this isn't a guy that's supposed to be the starter, right? So he's going up against some good talent. Eflin, I think Eflin I think with Eflin he had a couple of low snaps. Again, I forgot about the missed snap that Christian
Bro,
McCaffrey picked up.
that snap was bad. That snap was like he thought that Cam was right behind him. So that's what it
I
looked
think
like
he,
when I watched
I
it
think he
again.
just got nervous. I think he just got nervous, bro. Like I think it was third. It was
But
third and
but
short.
but overall, no, second down. But
My
overall,
bad.
but
No, I
overall,
know. I think it was. I think it was third, Dave. It was third because we ended up punting after that. I think that was third down when he did that. I'm quite
I
positive
mean,
it was because I went back and watched
all
the
right,
game today.
you might be right.
I'm
I didn't go
quite
back and
positive
watch the
that was on
game.
third down.
But I'll be honest, man. Pat Eflon is a better center than a guard. You know what I'm saying? He's been playing center better than he's been playing guard. So I can't, and I know it's only been two games so far, but he's been playing. Oh, it was third. Okay, sorry, I got it wrong. He's playing better. He's playing better guard than he plays better as a center than a guard, for
No,
sure,
I agree.
in my opinion.
I agree. No, I agree there. I agree there. John Miller had himself a better day. I mean, he's finally he took a couple weeks off dealing with some stuff, but now he's healthy. I do think I see a lot of people talking about Trent Scott is better than John Miller at guard, and I don't think that's the case. I think John Miller was not healthy, and he was out there playing not at 100%. But when John Miller's healthy, he actually had some really high grades. He was actually one of the bright spots on this offensive line before he got COVID. To be honest, even going back to last year, he's been playing solid football. And then obviously Taylor Moton. And I think with John Miller, he's a guy that they really want to run behind too. So I think that you know Trent Scott, he played well in lieu of John Miller being out, but I think John Miller's a better option there full time. And then Taylor Moton, obviously, 84, had his best game from a pass blocking perspective. They again, the pass protection was there. Pass protection was there. It's the past 2 games, it's been there. They're finally starting to gel together, and it's working. It's working. It's working. Let's see if Brady Christensen gets another shot. I don't know. I didn't hear what's up with Dennis Daly's injury. But let's see if he gets another shot to prove himself. I think you got nothing to lose right now. I think let Brady Christensen go out there, see what you have in him. That way, you know if you need to invest in the left tackle in 2022. High, like I'm talking about first round pick. You got to know what you got in Christensen. So you can't
Oh,
go out there.
dude, my man almost got a 90 PFS score, and
Yeah,
he played the majority of the snaps too.
this is pass blocking. Yeah, but this pass block grade was almost a 90, bro. Yeah, he did good. And,
Oh my
and
god.
but before we do that, before we jump out the window, the caveat with that was they weren't going up against Montez Sweat, and Chase Young. That wasn't the case. They were going up against some backups. So for what it's
I get
worth, you
it.
got to put the context there.
I get it. But our coaching staff made Christian sound like he was never going to be a left tackle, and that man played well with the folks that was in front of him. Now, if he would have gotten a story about a back coach, then we'll be having a separate discussion.
True.
We'll be talking about
That's
whether or
true.
not he was even. We'll be talking about whether or not he was even worth the pick that we had, and we don't
That's a
want to
good
ever see
point.
him there again. He's supposed to beat those guys, and he dominated the teams based on
That's
his
a good point.
PFF grade.
I'll roll
That's
with
all.
that. I'll agree with that. And here is the run blocking grades. Christensen also did well there. 71.9 is solid. John Miller also solid in the run game. Michael Jordan's a better run blocker than he is pass blocker. Obviously, in this particular game, Eflin, they good run blocking as well. Moulton, not so much. Not sure what's going on there. I got to go back and really watch that to see what was going on when they ran to the right. But yeah, man, this offensive line is doing enough, right? I feel like what is sad, right, when you have such a questionable offensive line, and when they play well, you still can't get it done. Like when they're supposed to be the reason why you lose games, and they've been playing well enough for you to win games, and you can't win them. Like that's when it really gets bad. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. They are literally the weakest position group on this roster, and they're starting to play well. Over the past 2 games, it's starting to go in the right direction. Yeah. So
some people are penalized. Like part of the reason why Moulton's score is possibly low too is the holding call. That some people didn't think was a holding call, but in the grand scheme of things, it was called, so he's going to get penalized for it. So that's part of the reason why his rate is a little lower. But
all right,
yeah, man,
we'll move on from that. I had to put Joey Slye on stock down. I had to get him up here. Did you see his Instagram post?
Yes, and I saw that Panthers Twitter got him to the point where he was limited. He erupted and got it to the point where he limited his messages because he was getting so much vitriol. It was bad. Shout out to Carolina Blitz. Shout out to Vashta, because Vashta typically she does an article saying how Panther Twitter reacts to certain things, and he made the Summer Jam screen, bro. But he limited his responses. He limited his responses, yo. He limited his responses big time.
Come on, Joey.
My man made 2 field goals on the 40 yards, and all of a sudden he thought he was shit. Forgetting why the hell he lost his job in the first place. That man's been on 75 teams since he left Carolina, and he's got the fucking gall to come at us to talk about our back. Dog, you kicked 2 field goals. Congrats, bro. You kicked 2 field goals. You did what you're supposed to do as a kicker on the 15 that you've been on since we let your ass go. Congrats, bro. You want to give yourself credit for the win? I'm fine. But I think I'd rather give it to Heineke because Heineke played well. But you did what you're supposed to do. You did your job. You're supposed to make below 40-yard field goals. But for some reason, you had a problem doing that when you were in Charlotte. You had a problem doing that when you were in Houston when they let your ass go after 2 weeks. You had a problem. We've seen your ass twice outside of the division. You had a problem doing that, but you out here jumping to all these damn teams. You was in San Fran. You out here traveling the damn country, man. Did you cross country all your damn trips when you were going around this country? You know what I'm saying? When you out here,
freaking flyer. His miles game was crazy.
Forget it now. That man was on this Amtrak. He out here hopping on these trains from Carolina to Houston, to San Francisco, back to wherever you want to be. This man been out here jumping all these damn places and has the gall to say, I'm back. Did you say I'm back to the other 4 teams too? Because you were on a lot of teams.
Yeah, it's only week 11, bro. Back in a lot of places.
There's no guarantee that you're gonna we might see your ass again.
Facts.
We might see you somewhere else.
We might see Joey Slye again down the road. He might be with Tampa next. Or the Falcons.
This man be out here jumping all these dang on cities. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, I respect Young Way too much to think that he would lose his job to this guy. I respect Young way too much to think that he's going to lose to this guy.
Dave. You said his name right. I'm proud of you.
Listen, let me tell you something, man. You can't be out here on these streets, out here talking all this trash. You lost your job with days remaining before the final cut, and you got the gall to say something like that? What? Whole damn defense, huh?
No, my fault. No, keep going.
No,
Dave.
it's fine.
That was accident.
Nah, it's just this guy's out here talking all this hoopla. And I'm like, oh, you ain't Justin Tucker. You ain't in that elite field. You might hit Justin Tucker's team for a trial by the time your career is over and get cut. You know what I'm saying? But nah, fam, you lost your job with days to go before the regular season.
This dude act like we didn't just see him crying on the sideline. JJ Jansen had his arm around him. JJ Jansen had his arm around him, consoling him. You was just crying in Carolina 3 weeks ago. Relax, fam.
Weeks. This dude ain't just been crying in Carolina, bro. That dude cried in Houston, San Fran. I'm telling you, man. If he was a rapper, man, he can have alternative universe in every city he's been at this point. He could talk about the hoods of Charlotte, the hoods of San Fran, the hoods of Houston. You know what I'm saying? Now the hoods of DC. Like he can hit the gauntlet up in this piece. But this dude's got the gall to make a comment like that. Dude ain't said nothing all this time because he knows he's out here keeping his traveling bag. You know, he's like Kanye West. Kanye West said that he don't have a house.
He got his house.
He don't have a house. His house is his backpack.
Dave.
He's got his backpack chilling in the locker room. He just takes it where he needs to go.
That's
you know what
funny.
I'm saying?
Dave said Joey Slye got his house with him. Yo, that is funny. Yo, if you know, but that shit is funny. That's funny.
I'm just saying, man. It's just I don't understand. But then again, I mean, I know that some people say, well, he has the right to trash talk, blah, 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 blah. But I've never seen this swag. But I will give him some credit. He's got more swag than Sam, I guess. But that's all I got. All right, moving on.
Yeah, man. This dude, he used to land in Vegas. Yo, that's funny. Yo, that's funny, man. That's funny. That's probably his next team. He gonna hit Vegas next, probably. But all right, so anyway, shout out to Joey Slye, man. This dude definitely deserves to be on Summer Jam screen. I was waiting for dude to miss a field goal. I was in the stands. I just knew he was gonna miss him. I find it funny too that Ron Rivera took a penalty to punt the football to give this man an opportunity to kick. Like, I think like a 50-something-yard field goal.
A timeout. He didn't think he could make it. He took a timeout to change it to punt because he thought about it because he knows.
But didn't they also get a delayed game didn't they take a delayed game as well to back up 5 more yards? I thought. I could be wrong. I know they did it at one point.
But I think there was a debate on whether or not he could make the field goal. Because they were going to bring him out to do it, and it was like, nah, we good. We're gonna punt this joint.
Yeah.
So
but all right. So let's move on to the next one because we got to unpack this one a little bit. I put the whole damn defense up here, but I really didn't mean that. Because there was a couple guys that balled out. Let me exclude a couple folks from this discussion, and I'm gonna exclude a couple people. That's gonna be Stephon Gilmore. That's gonna be Morgan Fox. That's gonna be Jeremy Chin, and that's gonna be Hassan Reddick. Outside of that, everybody else, all y'all boys, a lot of y'all boys is on stock down. Like all of our interior guys, Dave, were not good. They were not good. It was not pretty. Daquan Jones, Bravion Roy, Derrick Brown, nobody had higher than a 33.3 PFF grade. That is not good. We were manhandled in the trenches. We could not tackle. Like, dog, and this is a credit to Washington offensive line, Washington scheme, Washington's offensive coordinator, Ron Rivera. Bro, they took it to us. Manhandled us, B. I mean, I saw a run. I believe it was Antonio Gibson's touchdown or one of the runs where Shaq Thompson. I mean, it wasn't his fault, but he just got completely obliterated by I believe it was Cosme. I gotta post that clip on Twitter because it was crazy, the execution, how he got up to the second level. Shaq Thompson was taking a great angle, and then just got obliterated by Cosme. I mean, they just wore us out in the trenches, bro. They wore us out. You got Hassan Reddick calling people out, saying we need to do their jobs. We can't. We got to chill with the buddy stuff and all that. The defense didn't. They got punched in the mouth, bro. They got punched in the mouth. Dudes was again. I don't think it's a coordination thing either. I saw a lot of people getting on Phil Snow, but I don't think it's a coordination thing. Not for Phil. I think it's an execution thing, bro. It's an execution thing. They got to get it. They got to do their jobs. Like Dave said earlier, dudes they had they eyes in the backfield. They weren't doing their jobs. I saw a ton of miscommunication issues in the secondary from when I was at the game, bro. I saw them pointing around, and I said this yesterday, and I thought maybe it was the crowd. I don't know, but it was loud in the stadium, and I don't know if they were. It was a lot of pointing, a lot of guys just throwing their arms up. I don't know what's going on, so I don't know what happened. But they were not on their game, bro. They were not on that game. The 3rd and 25, fam. Like, come on, me.
Rule even talked about the fact that See, man, yo, my mind is a mess today. He talked about the defensive eyes. He talked about the level of accountability of how the defense played. But when you look at the PFF scores, like you were talking about with regards to the defensive line, we got to start having a legitimate discussion about Derrick Brown, bro. Unless we're not ready to
talk about it. No, I'm ready. Let's talk. I think because I seen the Derrick Brown slander. I seen the bust. I seen it all on Twitter. And I
here's
my I can't get with it.
Here's my beef. Here's my beef with the discussions. We can say that Derrick Brown is a bust. We can have that discussion and decide that man is a bust. But to say that you should have taken Isaiah Simmons over him is
that's stupid.
You guys, that's idiotic. That's idiotic at best. And the reason why I say that is because you can't take Isaiah Simmons and expect us to take Chin. You know what I'm saying? Even if Isaiah Simmons is playing at a high level now, you can't say that without thinking about the fact that you won't have Jeremy Chin. And then on top of that, you have to consider what the need was at the time. And we needed a defensive tackle. Bad, fam. We needed one.
Yeah.
Bad.
Well, you remember back then we couldn't stop the run either? You remember back then? That's why we
I'll do you one better. Let's go a little further back. Remember when we took Luke Kuechly in the first round? And it was long term, because I wanted, and I'll be clear, I wanted Fletcher Cox because I felt like our defensive tackle was a mess. But Luke Kuechly was absolutely the right pick. But the thing that you realize in his rookie year was that Luke Kuechly couldn't be like super Luke. And part of the reason why is because our freaking interior was trash. And they fixed that the following year with Star. You know what I'm saying? Like getting Star, getting KK. They fixed that the following year. But the point is that you got to have your linebackers can roam pretty damn well when you don't got to worry about them cleaning up the trash in the interior. And that's a factor. And that's what Derrick Brown's supposed to do. I don't want to, if you want to have a discussion about him being a bust, that's fine. But we're not going to have the discussion saying that he was the worst first-round pick we ever had. That's blasphemous.
Come on, man. Let's chill with that.
That's blasphemous.
Couple things here. We can have a discussion about drafting a particular position, right? We can have a discussion about taking an interior defensive lineman in the first round that high. I can have that discussion with you. We can talk that. But people, what are you expecting out of Derrick Brown? That's my thing. What are you expecting? Are you expecting him to be Aaron Donald? Or are you expecting him to be what is the expectation for Derrick Brown? What standard are you holding him to? Because he's an interior defensive lineman, bro. They don't the statistics are not going to be there. The sack numbers are not going to be there like that. What are you expecting him to do?
I think the big thing for me with Derrick Brown in this game in particular is that he was getting manhandled, bro. And if you're when you go ahead, and if you're now you're fine. If you get manhandled like that, you know what I'm saying? Because the job of Derrick Brown ultimately in my eyes is to take these double teams. You know what I'm saying? And occasionally win. That's his job. But he was getting ransacked. It wasn't good. He didn't look good at all. So yeah.
Man, so this is by far his worst game. When are we gonna judge? You can't judge a dude by his worst game. Nobody, we put Derrick Brown on stock up a couple of times this season. Mm-hmm. So what are we doing? And y'all I see Vita Vea. I get that. What Vita Vea is 360 pounds, fam.
Random fact about Vita Vea. Did you know that he used to play running back in high school? Did you know that shit? Could you imagine his ass playing running back, bro? He getting these damn high school kids killed. Yeah,
that's a
fact. Yo, Vita Vea is different, bro. That's just, Vita Vea is just different.
Dog, he's 3'6". He's got 40 pounds on Derrick Brown. He can't be Vita Vea. That's not possible. We don't have that dude. We don't have that type of dude on our roster, bro. What? Listen, he can't be Vita Vea. It's not possible. I think people forget why Derrick Brown was a consideration too.
we haven't had like good defensive tackle play like that. This pick was the worst first round pick for those who aren't aware. And you can't use the excuse of, oh, well, Cam wasn't here because he was. The luxury pick. That was the worst first round pick.
And again,
over the past 10 years.
I cannot judge a man by his worst. I agree with y'all. This was his worst game. This was his worst game. I agree with y'all. And again, if you want to have the discussion about taking an interior defensive lineman where we took him, fine, we can have the discussion. But I think Derrick Brown is doing a decent job. I don't think he's a bust. Y'all throw around bust too. Y'all throw it around too much. Bust is
well. The
bust
other
is
problem, the other problem too, is that this was this regime's first pick. They ain't really had like it hasn't been three years yet. Like you can't call nobody a bust until we're 3 years in. You can't do that.
I agree with that. And there's some cases you can because you can see the writing on the wall. But yeah, but it's so.
Well, but you can't like legit like.
Go ahead.
Not yet. Hell no. Not yet. No. Star was good, bro. Like I don't understand. Like good. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Not yet. Nope. Not yet. Nope. He's not as good as Star. Nope.
And listen, I agree. Okay, so we're gonna talk about we should have drafted Tristan Wirfs.
That now, if some folks were saying that,
I'm with you.
I'm rolling.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
But Isaiah Simmons, I'm not here for these Clemson fans, bro. I'm not here for it because that's why you're saying it. Because you're not gonna say it because he's a better player than freaking Chin. You can't. Like you're not. And remember, you had to take him in the top 10. So
and this is a great point. When Brown does his job, Shaq and Jermaine Carter Jr. look better. This is a great point. And Shaq has looked damn good this year. There hasn't been too many situations where Shaq hasn't been taking great angles and been getting in the backfield. So let's stop, bro. Let's stop. Let's chill. Let's just chill a little bit. Let's chill a little bit, bro. Chill out a little bit. I agree. We could have did things different, but Derrick Brown's on the team, and I don't think he's a bust. I think y'all going too far with that. Now, let's talk about some other guys. That was a great discussion. I did want to have that discussion because I think it's important with Derrick Brown. Let's talk about some other dudes. Dave, let's talk about the secondary. So I pulled this from PFF today. This is just a couple of guys. I didn't get everybody, but Dante Jackson allowed 86 yards, bro. He had a rough day. He had a rough go at it today.
It's a good time to put a quote here from a great coach that we had. He picked a bad day to have a bad day.
I'm with you, Dave. I'm with you. He picked a bad day to have a bad day. I think it wasn't pretty. It was not pretty. Again, I just have these two guys up here, but for the most part, the entire secondary had a rough day. Like AJ Bouye had a rough day. They all had.
I want to have some beef real quick. We talked about underdog fantasy, and I want to bring this back up. The over-under for Terry McLaurin was like 63 yards, 63 and a half yards, 62 and a half yards. I thought under. First two plays that Heineke threw to Terry McLaurin, Dante Jackson was on him, and he got burned. Got the over in 2 plays. I was so disappointed, yo.
Yeah. Shit.
I was so disappointed, man.
Life comes at
that joint happened so fast, bro. And I'm like, yo, what is this? And then every single time I'm seeing 26. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Cost me my 20x, man.
I do think Gilmore played more snaps than he normally does. Yeah, he played a lot. He played a lot yesterday. That's more than what he normally does. So people asking where Gilmore was. Gilmore is still rehabbing from his injury. He can't quite take on the full load just yet. But once he is able to take on the full load, I think that Dante will slide into the second cornerback position, and he can then take on the guys that he's capable of taking on day in and day out. But I think Gilmore needs to be that guy on the Terry McLaurin and just shadowing him around the field. And I think McLaurin's a good receiver, bro. We got to give him some credit. But he cooked up Dante. He cooked up
All right.
Dante. Go ahead.
I gotta step out for a quick second. I can still hear you, so keep rolling.
Yeah. So Dante Jackson had a rough day, 31 grade. Again, he wasn't the only one. AJ Bouye had a 45 grade. He allowed three targets. It was targeted 3 times, allowed 3 receptions for 40 yards. And then also other guys also suffered. CJ Henderson also had not a rough day, but he did allow 2 receptions on 2 targets for 16 yards. And then Jeremy Chin also got torched on the Terry McLaurin touchdown. Again, I don't think that Jeremy Chin should be lined up on Terry McLaurin. I think that was a great example of good offensive coordination, getting Terry McLaurin lined up on a safety like that. I think that was great coordination. And Miles Hartsfield had a solid day, and Stephon Gilmore had a solid day, both only allowing 1 reception on 1 target. Gilmore only allowed 5 yards, and Miles Hartsfield only allowed 7 yards when he guarded Terry McLaurin.
But I
Go
don't
ahead, Jay.
understand. I don't understand how our defensive scheme could have a situation where you got Jeremy Chin on damn McLaurin. Like I don't know who
But
thought.
I don't know.
Like I know all the misdirections and all that. Like how do you put yourself in that scenario? And it goes back to like if you're gonna man this dude up, you need to man it up. You shouldn't be having mismatches like that. There was another one that was kind of wild too. Like, wasn't Shaq on some? What Shaq wasn't on McLaurin, I think. Somebody was on. I think
Shaq
Shaq was
Shaq
on.
was on Humphreys and McKissick. Those are the
Yes.
two catches he allowed. I think Humphreys
Okay.
was the one you talking about. 1 reception for 18 yards.
Yeah.
That was for a
Yeah.
big first down, I believe, too, if I'm not
It
mistaken.
was. So like things like that shouldn't happen. Like he shouldn't be like on cats like that. And that's the dilemma I got too. Like
Yeah, it
we
was.
out here having some crazy ass mismatches that are unsat from that standpoint.
Yeah, it was a rough day, and I forgot about Keith Taylor. Keith Taylor, he allowed 1 reception on 1 target for 18 yards.
But he only played
Again,
9 snaps.
he
He
only
only
played
played
nine
9 snaps.
snaps. Yeah,
So
so he
I
had a
can't be
rough
too
day too.
angry about that. Yeah, can't be too angry about that.
But again, like the light at the end of the tunnel is that J.C. Horn, next year we'll have J.C. Horn back. So again, I got a bigger picture in play here when I think about the secondary. So I'm cool. I'm cool, man. It's all good for me. It's all good for me. Um, Sack counter Dave, Hassan Reddick up to 10.5 sacks. Let me just double check. I believe this is correct. Yep. Hassan Reddick, 10.5 sacks, and Brian Burns with 7 sacks, not 7.5. I apologize. I thought that they might have made a change on that last minute. But it's 7 sacks. So I mean, do you think Brian Burns gets to double digits?
Mhm.
Think he gets up there?
I don't see why not he could. I don't see why he can't. Why can't he?
I'm, I don't think. I think he could too. I'm just asking a
Yeah,
question.
he's got 6 games left. I mean it's feasible to get 2.5 sacks in 6 games. That's feasible. He could probably get that done.
Yeah.
I mean he needs 3 to tie. I mean, but I think Reddick's gonna run away with this, man.
Reddick. Yeah, Reddick
Reddick.
is man. He's doing some crazy things right now, bro. He's doing some crazy things. Let me see what he's on pace for. He's projected for 15.5 sacks.
All right,
That's the projection for him right now.
not a bad place to be.
Nah, not at all, bro. Not at all. He's cooking. Pressures are there. He's getting home. Again, you can question, whether we have these guys are great talents, but you can question them in the run game too. Like that's where we've been getting feasted. When these guys are on the edges, they've been getting pushed around. Well, yeah, our whole defense got pushed around today, but we've seen it exacerbated. Really, again with Dallas, the Minnesota game, the in this game against the football team. Philly, we've seen it. Yo, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But we they got to man up. We got to figure a way. Phil Snow got to figure a way to get these guys to get that figured out and stop the run consistently against good rushing teams. I think Dallas unlocked something on us, and I think teams are starting to see that, and they just attacking us. And I think Matt Rule said it wasn't the same method that they did. I think Dallas is more of a power run game versus us, but
Yeah.
and I think the football team was a bit different tack, but the result was the same, and that's what needs to improve. So, um, real quick, we will have the game preview tomorrow with on the Fin side, Miami Dolphins. I'm waiting for confirmation. They hit me up today saying they're gonna let us know for sure tonight. So hopefully we'll get that locked in. As of right now, it'll be tomorrow 8 p.m. If something changes, just make sure y'all are in tune with what's going on. I'll let you know. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and check those community posts because we'll let y'all know how things are gonna rock.
If we go on for the game preview at 8 p.m., I'll do the fantasy Q&A at 7. Because we got a lot to talk about after what happened this week. There's some crazy numbers that happened this week, so we got a lot to go over for the waiver wire. So we'll keep you guys posted on whether or not it's going to be 8 o'clock on the Fin side. But me and Rashad will be there to talk about this game, man. And one of my employees is the dog. I got one of my former employees and another one of my employees are Dolphins fans, and they're already ripping me about this game, especially after losing to Washington. So and they Tua's been playing better over the past few weeks. So this is going to be an interesting one. The only good thing that we have on our side is the fact that this is going to be on the road for us, and we play better on the road, since we bond better on the road than we do at home.
Yeah, those team dinners should be kind of cool in Miami.
They sure are. They better hope to be careful where they go in Miami.
Yeah, I'm about to
They
say
don't want
they
to get
gotta stay
distracted.
focused.
They got to stay focused here.
They all South Beach, bro.
There's a difference between Phoenix, Arizona, and Miami, Florida.
That is a fact. Yeah, they do have the worst run game in the league. They can't run the football, so that's a positive. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But they suck in the run game. So,
but that don't mean nothing. I mean, shoot, the Giants wasn't a good team defensively, and you saw what they did to us. So it all depends. All about perspective. Yeah. So we'll see.
So here are the current NFC South standings. I don't know what's the game looking like right now, Dave.
What do you mean by the line?
You're talking about the Monday night game.
Oh, Tampa's up 17-10.
Okay, so it's still,
if the Giants wins this game, bro, I'm gonna cry. Because if they win another, because of the tiebreaker, bro, after the bye.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's a lot of teams that'll have ahead of us with the tiebreaker.
Facts.
Like I said earlier in this episode, bro, when it comes to the tiebreakers and the way that we've been trying to make these moves, we're in win now mode. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very sensitive about that. Yeah, the Bucks are about to score. They're in the red zone right now. It's 3rd and goal. Brady out the pass. And please tell me that wasn't Mike Evans. And it was. Damn it. That hurt from a fantasy perspective for me. I'm going up against them. So Mike Evans just scored a touchdown. So it's 24-10.
So let's move on. Here is the current standings, the playoff standings. So we ranked 10th. We talked about this yesterday. And again, there's a lot of guys behind us that do own the tiebreaker. That is unfortunate. Again, we lost to a lot of these teams. Philadelphia, we lost to. Minnesota, we lost. Minnesota was down here where we were. Now they jumped up to 6th. And we lost to the Cowboys. So there's some teams behind us that we lost to as well. And the tiebreakers are critical. And we're getting to a situation where the record might not be good enough to just get us in there. And so if you're thinking playoffs, don't get your hopes up, bro, because it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good.
No, we can still get it. We still got it because we still got a shot. Because
it's not out of the realm, but yeah, it's getting real close to being all right. Like these tiebreakers are real, bro. You're gonna have to be a whole game ahead of people. That's a whole different.
Yeah, but the thing is, so like you got to ask yourself who's gonna make this turn, right? If you think the Saints are gonna fall out, then that's one thing. But the Vikings, they might keep their spot, which is scary. It just depends on who keeps their spot, man. But the thing is, teams like Philadelphia being ahead of us, it's not good. And the fact, like I said, if the Giants somehow win this game, I don't think they're going to. They would own the tiebreaker against us. Washington owns the tiebreaker against us, and they're starting to make a run. They just beat the Bucks last week. They beat us. They beat us yesterday. So like they're starting to make a run. So they start owning some of these tiebreakers. They can go ahead of us. But I don't think San Fran's going to hold. I think San Fran's going to fall. Philadelphia could fall. But you need them to fall at this point because now we kind of screw the pooch.
That's what I'm saying. You starting to need people, and that's the hard part about this is when you need people to make the playoffs, you kind of you're left to somebody's falling out. Yeah, and that's just that's not a good look. Not a good position to be in.
We beat Washington, we would be 6-5, and we would be sixth in the conference. So like. You can go ahead and say that the top 5 slots there's no way we're going to get there. So we're pretty much fighting for 6 and 7.
I was just looking at that. You read my mind. Those top 5, you're not catching
those are locks. Those are locks. Unless you somehow win the division with the Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks is the only way to get it, and that's getting real slim because now you need to sweep them and have them lose.
Yep.
Another one. So
yep. Because prior to yesterday, if we went out, we win the division. That's a tough sell now.
And if you look at their schedule, let's see. Go ahead, Dave. My fault.
When you look at and I was on the town hall yesterday, and during the town hall, I said, bro, you got to think about it from this standpoint. You're gonna have to win 5 out of the last 6 games to get in. Like you probably can get in. You possibly can get in with 4 out of 6 wins, but the reality is you kind of can't. It's kind of hard. So when you look at who we got left on the
here's the Bucks remaining schedule real quick. They got the Colts, which the Colts are playing good football right now, so that could be one. They got the Falcons; they're gonna beat them. They got the Bills, which could be a tough one, depending on which Bill team you get. The Saints, then they have us twice, and the Jets. So that's the Bucks remaining. Yeah, that's the Bucks remaining schedule.
Oh man. So it's like when you start thinking about it from that aspect, it gets interesting. But then you look at like a team like the Vikings. Like what's their schedule looking like? Like what's their schedule? Like what's
let me see.
Like these are the teams that are in front of us.
Here we go. The Vikings have the 49ers, Lions.
Oh, that's good. The 49ers is good because that means that's going to knock one of them down. So that's a good
Steelers, Bears, Rams, Packers, and Bears again.
They got some tough divisional games. The Bears are still.
They also got some cupcakes. They got the Lions. I don't know, bro.
But that's a divisional game, bro.
Yeah, it's true.
That's a divisional game, bro. Like those are different. Those are different. Even with those guys, those are different.
Man, I'm not getting my playoff hopes up, bro. Again, I'm taking it for kind of what it is right now.
The moves we made.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Dave. I agree with you.
Gotta make these
great point. Bro. I agree with you. I think the coaching staff saw it. They saw the light, and they think it's a dub. They want it to be a dub. They want us to make the playoffs. They're pushing it. They're acting like it. All their actions are saying it. The roster moves saying it. But you also gotta there's also reality too. You gotta coach better. You gotta get better output on the field, and that's not happening right now. You can't make the playoffs playing defense the way we played yesterday. You can't make the playoffs, with the clock management issues that we have. You can't make the playoffs not playing complementary football, and that's what we've seen all seasons. Every season under Matt Rule, every game under Matt Rule, we haven't seen any consistency from this team. And until we see that, I'm not saying anything about the playoffs.
Yo, when are they gonna? Random question. This is off topic because the Giants ain't gonna win this game. When are the Giants gonna give up on Daniel Jones? He just threw one of the worst interceptions I've seen in my life. I think that was a defensive tackle too that he threw it to. McClendon, I think his name is. Ain't he a defensive tackle? Or is he an end? Either way, threw it right at the dude. Terrible.
So here is the draft order right now. Right now we would be picking 12th. So just kind of we're in that kind of space where we might make the playoffs. We have a potential to make a playoff push, but at the same time, if it goes left, we could be in decent draft position. But that's just kind of is what it is.
That was a win now move for them. They thought Sam
was
a vast improvement.
For sure.
They thought that Sam was an improvement over Teddy Bridgewater. They picked him up saying that he was they picked him up thinking he was a much better quarterback than Teddy. Not a doubt in my mind. They compared that man to Matthew Stafford. They compared that man to Matthew Stafford. Speaking of which, did I take my hot take about the Rams in here? I don't think I have. I might as well say it. I don't think the Rams is going to win a playoff game, bro. I do not think they're going to win a playoff. I think they're going to be one and done. Matthew Stafford has only won 9 games in his career against winning teams. I don't think they're going to win a playoff game. I think they're going to go into the playoffs with the 5 seed, and he's going to be one and done.
Damn, I didn't know that stat.
Yeah, that man's only won 9 games against teams with winning records. So I don't think he's going to win one. And it's amazing that man's been in the league for 13 years, and nobody's talking about how the league just figured him out, because they have. He's not that good. Well, we know the Rams ain't going to win the division because Arizona's in the division. Arizona went 2-1 with Colt McCoy. And they're on bye, and Kyler and D-Hop should be back at the end of the bye. So, but yeah, 12th. Let's go back to this draft position. 12th, man, let me tell you something, bro. You don't trade for Sam Darnold and give up a 2nd and a 4th and a 6th round pick. And because we got to give up our 2nd and a 6th this year, right? Or was it the 2nd and the 4th this year? 2nd and the 6th.
We already gave up a 2nd and a 4th, but we got the 4th back. No, it was a 6. I think we gave up a.
It was a 2nd, a 4th, and a 6th, but I know the 2nd and the 6th were this year, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Or was it last year? Yeah.
Yeah, but just as of right now, we have a 1st, a 4th, 5th, a 6th, and a 7th.
Yeah, so you can't be out here like everybody was like, well, we should just tank. Nah, you can't tank because the teams that you traded Donald for is going to win. So you can't be out here tanking yet. Not yet. Yo, I didn't realize that. I forgot that the Jets had Seattle's pick. Good God Almighty. The Jets about to clean up, bro. The Jets about to clean up. The Phillies about to clean up. Yo, man. Look at this.
Yeah.
The Giants might have back-to-back picks the way it's looking. Yo, this is
Detroit,
man.
not looking good.
Detroit, at least they won't go 0-17. But it looks like they might go 0-16-1.
Yeah,
I guess they can't.
Ain't good.
I guess. No, it's not. You think they'll fire the coach?
I think that's a fireable offense. Not winning a game is
the last coach. Offense. The last coach that went winless kept his job. You remember who that was?
I don't.
Hugh Jackson. When the Browns went winless, he kept his job. They decided to fire him midseason.
Yeah, I think it's a fireable offense. Oh, this is an interesting question. Oops. Do we think DJ Moore is overrated? Dave probably thinks so.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Not like this. Shout out to Pat. Not like this. No, I don't think he's overrated. My criticism of DJ
had bad quarterbacks, bro.
My criticism of DJ Moore strictly came from a fantasy perspective when it comes to catch percentage based on targets. That was my criticism of DJ Moore. As a receiver, I think he's a 1.
He's good, man. He needs consistent quarterback play. He's played with like 7 different quarterbacks in his young career. And so I think you got to give him some credit for that. And I think he's just got to get the ball. Like, you got to find when you have Christian McCaffrey on the team, you say what you want. It takes away from other guys on the football field. Like, you got the offense is predicated around Christian McCaffrey. We've got to find balance in our offense. And I think that's a disservice to DJ. I think DJ Moore should be used in the same manner that Deebo Samuel's being used in San Francisco. They're essentially the same dude.
So this is, you know what, man? Here's my thing, Colin. When you make a comment like that, I know of another wide receiver that you would think the offense wouldn't allow him to thrive, and he did thrive. You know what his name was?
Steve Smith, Dave.
Steve Smith Sr. Because the thing that people fail to realize is that while Steve Smith was here,
it's
while
different
Steve Smith,
though.
it is, but when Steve Smith was a Panther, they ran more than they passed.
Yeah, that's different. They ran the football, yes, but when the football was thrown, it wasn't thrown to a running back. It was thrown to the receivers. And so
That's
now
true.
it's different in that Christian McCaffrey's getting the carries because we still run first, believe it or not.
We
And then on top of
Sunday.
that, yeah, that's true. But on top of that, he's getting the receptions too. That just completely eliminates the offense, right? So that's why.
And by the way, just so you know, this season I think we've passed more than we've ran, and that was before the Washington game, by the way. I have to double check that, but I believe there was a point during the year where we were passing more than we were running. Which is part of the reason why that we had to get Sam out the paint. We don't want him throwing passes at a ridiculous rate. But yeah, I mean, I think DJ Moore with the carousel of quarterbacks that he has, I don't think he's overrated by any stretch. I mean, he's like, when you think about some of the best wide receivers in the NFL, and then you look at some of the quarterbacks that they have, I mean, you could argue DJ probably had the worst slate of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think about it. Like, when you start thinking about the top receivers in the league, DeAndre Hopkins, he's got Collar. You know what I'm saying? Like, Devontae Adams, he's got Aaron Rodgers. Like, and then when you eventually get to DJ Moore, you say, all right, he had Sam Darnold, PJ Walker, and Teddy Bridgewater in the last 2 years. And then he just got canned for one game full time.
So Dave, let's talk about this real quick. What you thinking? The best situation we can hope for is 2-2. What you think, man? What you think? This was a critical stretch. We needed more wins and losses, but best case we come out even. What you thinking?
If we don't beat Miami, man, there's gonna be a lot of people wanting rules gone. But there's already people out there that want rule gone anyway because they lost Ron Rivera. So, like, Miami's a winnable game. We can't afford to lose that game, bro. So I'm thinking we'll probably end up 2-2. But
Patriots was a winnable game. Football team was a winnable game. I don't think we can't. We gotta chill with the winnable game discussion. We just gotta go out there and prove we a better team, man. It's frustrating because here's my question.
You think the Patriots are a winnable game? They're first in NFC. They're first in NFC East now.
Man, I don't give a shit. It was a winnable game.
They might have a shot to get the number 1 seed in the AFC, which is the wildest shit to me right now, bro.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get my light right. All right. So here's my question to you, Dave, because it's just a lot of people talking about coaching and all this other stuff, and so my question to you, Dave, is the way this roster has talent on it, right? Would you agree? Like the weakest part of this roster is the offensive line, and they're actually playing some decent football right now.
Yep.
So what is it? What is it about this team that can't get over the hump, bro? Because the talent is not the issue. I don't think talent is the issue.
It's the coaching. It's been the coaching. It's been the coaching all this time. Like I think David Tepper had good intentions when he hired Matt Rule in 2020. But I don't did I get that right? No, yeah, in 2020. But I don't think Tepper understood the assignment. I think he had good intentions, but I don't think he completely understood the assignment. Like, this team has enough talent to be in the playoffs, to make the playoffs. Like there's enough, and you agree because you've been making moves as such. And regardless of how you feel about Sam Darnold, the move about Sam Darnold was about making that playoff push this year.
It was.
The trades that we've made, the free agency acquisitions that we've made was about making a push this year. You picked up Cam Irving and Pat Afflin because you thought that would shore up your offensive line. You made the decision to draft J.C. Horn because you thought he would help out in the secondary. You made the decision to trade for C.J. Henderson and Stephon Gilmore because you thought that this could be a potential playoff team. You've made a massive amount of decisions saying that you're going to make this playoff push, and there's only one constant that is happening right now, and it's the coaching. You don't go back and get Cam Newton after Sam Darnold gets hurt if you didn't think you had a shot for the playoff run, because he even admitted that he didn't want to waste this defense because he knew how well this defense has been playing. So from my standpoint, this boils down to the coaching. It is point blank period, the coaching. And I think, he hasn't lost a team yet. He hasn't lost a team yet, but that's why I'm curious about the nuances with Cam. Because if there's a moment that he could potentially lose this team, it could be while Cam is in that locker room. I'm keeping it above.
So let's be specific. So when you say coaching, like what aspect of the coaching do you think the problem is?
Well, it's obvious that there's some aspect of his messages that aren't going through. For example, DBO.
So let me rephrase my question.
All
we
right,
have what, 4 main coaches, right? We've got the head coach, you've got the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, right? We're going to leave it to those 2 for sake of simplicity, right? Where's the problem within those coaches? Is the head coach? Are we saying that everything is the head coach? Because ultimately, right, the head coach is responsible for everything, so he gets all the blame, right?
Just remember, bro, whenever you fire somebody, whenever there's a big guy that's fired, it's typically the head coach. The head coach is typically the first to go. Typically.
Well, would a head coach on said hot seat not take duties away from somebody first before shit got real ugly?
You would think that, but then you can question whether or not he really wanted Cam there too, right? You know what I'm saying? So, although he's the head coach, eventually Tepper's going to put his foot down and tell him what he has to do. Because Tepper did the same shit to Rivera. Tepper said, yo, you're going to change this shit to a 3-4. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So eventually Tepper is going to step in. And, and when that, I think that moment happened when it came to signing Cam, but I don't know when it's going to happen when it comes to who his staff is.
This is a valid point. But I also because I'm hesitant to say that, because when you look at it's correct in some instances, right? Especially when you talk about, like, when you go back and look at the Patriots game, or you can look at any game. Like, when shit works, we look good. Like, when the game plan works, you talk about the Falcons game most recently. You talk about the Arizona game most recently. When the game plan that they draw up and design works, it works. It looks great. We look fantastic. But when it doesn't work and things aren't going well, it's like it goes downhill so fast. Like, I don't know if they can't adjust or they're not. But I also am hesitant to say that because execution seems to be an issue too. Like, I think it's a combination. I think it's more complicated than just saying we don't adjust. Like, I think that's part of it.
That's a big part, dude.
You have to find a solution, right? You have to figure out a way to get the guys in the right position to succeed. And I feel like once it doesn't work, we're like, oh shit, it's not working, so we're just gonna keep trying. And I don't know. It's kind of.
But the thing is, what you just said proved the point, right? Because that means they're not adjusting. Like, you're saying, oh no, it doesn't work. So let me. A coach would say, all right, let me try something else. These guys are like, all right, it doesn't work, so let's keep doing what we're doing, and that's not okay. Like that's not all right. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the perspective. Like if you're gonna say, yeah,
I'm just like
let's.
I'm just hesitant because we talk about coaching, right? Especially defensively, right? Yeah, and on Sunday, like the defense, the coaches ain't out there fucking tackling, bro. Like so
No,
we can't say that it's coaching. Like, and that's one of the better. We talk how many times we got up here and praised Phil Snow, right? He's done a great job, doing a great number one defense, number 1, 2, 3 top, whatever. Great job. So we
but
can't
it's
have it. What I'm
obvious.
saying is we can't have it both ways.
So then we got to ask the other question. Then, so what are we? So what are we doing, right? So I don't. I don't think Coach Snow is out there being quiet when these guys are out here looking at their eyes, right? So it's all about a motivation tactic too, and a motivation factor to make sure these guys do what they're supposed to do. That's right. Because the big thing that we're talking about with the secondary was the eyes, right? So I don't know, man. Like
Yeah,
I
but
will
what I'm
say,
saying, Dave, we talk about the secondary, but we talking about the run game. We've got 190 put on us, and it's just tackling, bro. They couldn't tackle, bro. Like the damn 20% missed tackle. Like that's not coaching. You can't blame coaching on that. They're in the NFL, bro. They know how to they know how to tackle.
Do they?
Don't do that. Don't do that, Dave. Don't do that. Don't do that.
All right. Listen, my point is,
don't do that.
I'm not saying the players don't know how to tackle, but it still comes down to fundamentals. These are things you got to make sure you do, that you're consistent in doing. Like this isn't something where, because missed tackles is the type of thing that you still got to practice, that you got to understand what needs to be done. Now it could be a situation where you might run into somebody that knows how to break tackle. So we're not going to. All right. So you're saying they don't know how to tackle. So you're saying coaching had nothing to do with that. So you don't think that any level of emphasis.
Coaching ain't got nothing to do with tackling, bro. They just miss tackles. It's execution.
Okay.
They got to tackle, bro. Like that's just tackling.
All right. So there's nothing wrong with the coaching staff. We're gonna roll with what we got. I think a lot of folks think the coaching staff should be fired, even though some people still think that. Like I think a lot of folks right now, based on what I've been seeing in the Panther Twitter streets, is that a lot of people think that this was just a rough day for the defense, and this is just going to be like a mulligan, and we'll be back to our normal self next week.
I think that's the case for the defense.
Yes, and if that's the case, we're going to be fine. Like we still have a shot to the playoffs. We're going to be fine. Like if Myles Gaskin runs on our ass tomorrow on Sunday, we're going to be sitting here Monday afternoon Monday night having a completely different discussion.
That's correct. Yeah,
you are right. I'm going to keep it a buck. Right. Like if Myles Gaskin and Ahmed and Malcolm Brown's on IR because I know Brandon said that yesterday. If these cats gashes, if Miami runs for like 150 yards on us, then there's going to be a different discussion that's going to be had. And then if the missed tackle rate isn't the same as what we saw against Washington, we're all going to be having a different type of discussion, and you know that because we don't have no business losing to these guys if they're running the ball as much as they are. So that's where that's all I'm saying. So we just got to put all this stuff into perspective. If we want to say they had a rough day, then fine. They can't. Yeah. So like just like Slim said, they can't run. So if they run on us next week, bro, we're gonna be having we're gonna have a different discussion. What do we boil that down to at that point if they run off us next week? Will it be coaching then? Or are we gonna blame execution again? Like there's got to be a point where the coaches got to take some of this heat, bro. Like we
talk
like
about
we can't
tackling though, B. Like
we no, but dog. But you know what? You know what you have to. You know what? You know what? But you know what we have. You know how you can improve when you're tackling. You practice.
Can you practice tackling though? Ain't there rules in regards to contact and how many contacts?
Like
Yeah. So can you really practice it?
You can't tackle a dummy
A dummy ain't
and
Gibson
a
out
human
there with
being.
legs running
But then
around.
again, even Derrick Henry, when he wanted to practice the stiff arms, he would do it with actual players. He didn't do it with the dummy. I don't know if you saw that video with Derrick Henry where he was doing the stiff arm drill and he was doing it with actual players. Like he said, "Yo, I need actual players to make this, more realistic."
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like I still think the game management is rough around the edges when it comes to Matt Rule, though. I mean, we use timeouts. We should use timeouts. We mismanage when it comes to these play calls. We gotta like these delay of games. I think a lot of factors of that is about getting the play in time too. So
Yeah, I
some of
mean,
this
but
is,
I expect that with Cam coming in. I expect that though.
but the thing is, it was with Teddy too. It was with Darnold too. Like we use timeouts to avoid
Yeah,
delay of games,
yeah,
bro.
no, you're
Like it's
right. You're
not.
right though.
Yeah,
But I think
yeah.
that needs to reset with the new quarterback. You got to give him
But
some
my
slack.
but my point, but I get it. But my point is that it's the same shit. Like it ain't like it ain't like it's not like it was Teddy's first game you having to delay a game problems. You know what I'm saying? It's also later in the season you have it. We could give the
Well,
pass
we'll
about
know. We'll know because Cam has let some offensive coordinators know in the past when the call came in late. So I
oh
think
yeah.
we'll know for sure what the issue is. If it comes to
But all I'm saying is that we could give the pass about the whole offensive tackling, the whole offensive the delay of games. We can give a pass this week. But eventually, that pass ain't gonna be had because we've had delayed game penalties. We've had to burn timeouts because we can get the play in time. That's been a thing before Cam got here. That was a thing with Darnold. That was a thing with Bridgewater. So we can't keep using the same excuse. That's all I'm saying when it comes to that. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It's coaching, bro. Like, but there's a penalty of hiring a college coach. Like that's a penalty. Like I know everybody says, well, what about Pete Carroll? There's a lot of Seattle fans that want Carroll out of here. And Seattle, and people forget, Carroll was an NFL coach before he went to college. Like the dude coached the Patriots, he coached the Jets before he got to Seattle. And then he went to USC in between. I mean, the lack of explosive plays on special teams, man, like oh God.
yeah, I think yeah, we don't have that dude. We got Fair Catch King back there. The
Yeah.
dude, he's not. I
But you
think
know what the problem
it's,
is?
it's more about being safe than
You know what the
being. It's
problem
more about
is?
him catching the football and not dropping it than actually having an explosive
Yes.
return.
I
That's what
completely
the
agree with you,
problem is.
Rashad. I completely agree with you, Rashad, because the problem is that we don't have Michael Bates. We don't have Steve Smith. We don't have Ted Ginn Jr. Like we ain't got somebody back there that's about that explosive life. Like we were hoping that maybe Rashad Smith could be that guy, but obviously he's not. Or the coach staff doesn't think he is. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like we could do better on who's catching these punts, but I don't think the coaching staff have an interest in it, which goes back to coaching, right? Like you ain't even trying to take risks. Like you out here got somebody back there just
Yeah,
there to catch.
their lack of risk taking is, and that is. I mean,
But
it's coaching. That is
that
coaching.
is coaching.
That
Like
is coaching. I agree with it.
you
I
know what
agree
I'm
with.
saying?
That's why I want to get specific. I want to get
Yeah,
specific. Like I
like
hate.
so like
I hate when
we
people just
give
throw out coaching, and that's the problem. Like, let's get specific. Let's like really
we
dive into it.
we gave Ron Rivera so much heat when it comes to being conservative, right? But you know what I'm saying? Like we went at Rivera for being so conservative with his. But by the end of his coaching time, he was way more aggressive than what he was. And I don't know if Rule's still trying to figure that out, or maybe Rule is just setting his ways when it comes to this shit. Like Tepper said he was going to hire an analytical guy, and the man went against analytics when the game was on the line. And I know you agree with him going for it on fourth down, but you got to pick your spots about what we're trying to get here. If you're going to be an analytical guy, you got to do the analytics, bro. Don't be like,
I agree.
because then you're going to sound like Ron Rivera when he says, well, analytics ain't it. It's about how the game flow's going. It ain't about analytics. That was Ron Rivera said. Because because when Ron Rivera was still the head coach here, Tepper talked about analytics, and they asked that man how he felt about analytics, and he said, well, this is football. Sometimes you got to go with your gut. Sometimes you got to go with what you think is the right play and not worry about the analytics. and then you let the man go. Say you're going to bring an analytical guy, you bring in Matt Rule, and now you got this guy that doesn't even follow the analytics. He pretty much said, the analytics says the punt, but I made a decision because I have Cameron Christian. I wanted to go for it. And I'm not knocking him for it, but, but I digress. And shout out to Cage Luke.
Yeah, Cage Luke.
Four-man rush.
Super chat. He says, Rule got outcoached by freaking Ronald Rivera. Ronald, got to give us
Ronald. He deserves it, man.
Has lesser talent. Watched the football team do the same thing Dallas did in the run game. Snow had no counter. So, I mean, that y'all going
but
back
that
to
says
coaching.
A lot. But that is coaching. Like, you don't adjust. Like, you're not making adjustments.
I don't think it was the run, fam. Like, we were in position to stop a lot of these runs. This is my point. Like, I watched the game. I watched it twice because I watched it live and then I rewatched it. We were in position, bro. We just could not tackle. We couldn't. We were getting thrown around, yes, in the trenches, but there was plenty of times we had dudes in the backfield for lost tackles, and they would just break the tackle, run for another 10 or another 8 yards, and extend. And not only that, dog, we got cut up. Heineke cut us up, bro. Like, we keep talking about the run, but a lot of these fourth down, a lot of these long third down plays, and they were extended by Heineke. A lot of these drives were extended by Heineke carving us up, bro. Carving. Heineke. We're not talking about, like, Tom Brady. We talking about Taylor Heineke. Like, come on, man. Like, it is what it is, bro. Like, it's frustrating. Again, I think this game is an outlier. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This game is an outlier. I do not expect our defense to perform this bad moving forward.
I don't either. All I'm saying is this, bro. If Myles Gaskin gash us, we're gonna be having a different discussion. And like,
you know what I'm saying? Right. You're right.
We're gonna be having a different. Dude, when we fired Rivera, they kept talking about having an analytical guy. That's all I heard from Tep. I'm gonna get a guy that believes in analytics. But he was.
And one thing I will say about credit to Ron Rivera too, his teams typically show up around this time. Like this is around the time
when the leaves have fallen. Rivera squads be balling, bro, and you know it. Like, we had the guy. We know how this shit goes down.
Yeah. Come November, bro, they start balling. That's Ron Rivera's teams, and you see they beat the Bucks, and they turn around and beat. I feel like a team in the Panthers that were trending in the right direction. Now they got us questioning ourselves, and that's just that's Ron Rivera, bro.
Got me wondering whether or not we can beat Miami next week. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just this squad has been unbelievable in changing my mind about it week to week.
Inconsistency, you know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Inconsistency.
The only thing that's consistent is that we are inconsistent.
That's facts.
And Saquon Barkley is not playing anymore. I'm sick.
All right, Dave, let's go ahead and shut this thing down. We've been up here a long, long time. We didn't take any calls. The discussion was needed. But let's go ahead and close this thing out, man. We're going to be back tomorrow, hopefully with the On the Fence side guys. And we're going to be previewing this Miami Dolphins contest. Should be a good one. We need the victory. So that being said, man, make sure our viewership was hella low today. I mean, dudes must be busy. We didn't even get up to 200 people, 300 people like we normally do. It was hella low in here. It's all good. But anyway, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, notification
bell.
It's
Thanksgiving week. It's Thanksgiving week, bro. Everybody's out here trying to find their turkeys.
Everybody trying to get to the family and all that. So it's all good. Hey, man, y'all make sure y'all have a happy we'll see y'all tomorrow. So we'll talk about Thanksgiving and all that tomorrow. That being said, man, like, subscribe, notification bell, comments. 15K, hit the subscribe button. That being said, man, we out. Peace out,
guys. Have a good one.